50, yeah. About £25. Who was doing Terranges Avenue? 1-5. Anybody for Terranges Avenue?
I'm just running to these two that want to go to Wolverton.
They've just come to me and asked me for a taxi. They didn't want one, so I told them the fare would be £25.
Well, it was me that took them home last night.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Field Hood, Marijo. If I'm saying that correctly. Good morning, everybody. My goodness. I had to get myself some tea. I love these DG in the mornings where we just chill out and talk together. I saw you, E-Red. I saw you. E-Red was the first to get here. He's like, where's that vag at? That is value added. What? Oh my goodness. What the fuck does it stand for now? I forgot. Value added gaming. Oh my goodness. I should be drinking coffee, but I'm feeling a little sick because I took Devin to the doctor yesterday. And now I feel like I'm getting a little sick. So it's just a house of sickness here today. And it's snowing outside like insanity. Like, so I'm glad I'm just chilling out with you guys here today. it's just one of those days today. So I was like, I'm bunkering in and I'm going to chill out with everybody here. We got a lot on the platter today, by the way. Since I'm sick, I figured we'd talk about a little bit about coronavirus. Like, what a way to start the morning out. But there's some crazy things happening over in China I want to discuss. Of course, we're going to talk about some Star Citizen. Very happy to break the news about the long-term persistence they're putting in the PTU, and it needs to happen. Like positive news. Very happy to see that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We got some polls that we took in the community that we're going to go over about imagination, gaming and imagination. So there's a lot of really cool stuff I'm going to like talk to you guys about. I'm a top 5 streamer. Thanks, dude, man. That's very nice of you. That's very nice. It's a little dark here today. We are going to have an Inside Star Citizen review later on once that gets released. So I really look forward to you guys chilling out with me on that as well. But these DG in the mornings, they're all about just chilling with family and having a good time talking to you guys directly. So, you know, I just want to make it about like having a good time and seeing what it is you guys are up to, and also just talking about some of the issues you guys are putting in. By the way, in our Discord, let me tell you something right now. You guys in our Discord are doing a great job. You guys are giving me a lot of news, especially Invisible. Erad, I'm sorry, I'm not talking about the Amber Heard situation, although I would like to. You know, I think that's been beaten down, and like quite literally, she beat Johnny Depp. And we all know that she beat Johnny Depp. And apparently it's okay to do that if you're a woman, to beat a man. Society that we live in today. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to tell you guys that I wanted to thank you because you guys are posting in this. If you're in my Discord, by the way, go check out my Discord. Awesome people here. Go into our Discord. You'll find like-minded people, very open-minded people. And in my news for DG section, you guys are posting topics that you guys are digging. And what I do is I review it. Every time I do these DG in the mornings, I go over them and I look to see what it is that I want to talk about. So continue to do so, guys. Like I definitely think it's an interesting place and a forum to post where I can post topics that are interesting to you guys. This is way too early, Chris. You're absolutely right, dude. J Dubs, you're on leave, dude? Awesome, man. Awesome. I'm glad you're here, man. Are you discussing the poll? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. What's up, Chief? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, so Devin's homesick. I'm getting sick. And I'm like, hey, it's perfect time to dig in and stream to you guys, you know? Like, there's no other better time than this. Might as well be productive if I'm getting sick. And that brings me into the first topic. I think we're just going to get super professional and talk about the first topic. Let's do it, guys. All right, guys. I wanted to talk to you guys about what's going on with this. This is depressing. This is all quite depressing. When you see like things that happen in movies, like Outbreak, movies that are a little bit concerning that we all like love to watch because we say, what are those end of the world scenarios? Like, I want to watch a movie that's going to put me at the edge of my seat where I think the entire human race is at jeopardy, but it could never happen in real life. Well, it's happening, and China's like the epicenter, and I'm getting concerned, and I wanted to cover this on the channel. We'll get to gaming after this, but I really wanted to cover this because what I'm seeing is pretty scary. I wanted to show you some footage of what's going on in China. They tend to suppress, you know, I don't know if you guys noticed, but China's communist. And the government tends to suppress things, not only for its own people, but how they look and appear to the rest of the world. The government tends to kind of like just put a giant blanket on everything, and they determine what you view, both their citizens and us. Although things slip through the cracks, you know, realness, truth, people, they want the estimation of what's really going on, especially with a virus that can literally kill quite a few people called the coronavirus. So I wanted to go over this footage. This is very scary. This is in China. These are people in hazmat suits, and this is how they're quarantining people in China right now. I don't know if you've seen this, but it's a little bit scary here. These are people who are both like suspected of having the virus. These are just people who are suspected of having the virus. This is what they're taking them to quarantine areas, okay? And this is how they're doing it. I call it the Chinese death cube. Let's watch. Okay, so that looks like a family member holding another family member on the tree. That looks like maybe a daughter and a father holding one another. So she's crying. She's visibly upset. Here we have a truck. Here we have a truck by the government with what appears to be a large cube. I'm referring to it as the Chinese death cube. This is what they're using supposedly to transport people to like quarantine areas. Very, very civil. Okay. This is oh no, it looks like the girl has climbed into there who was at the tree. It looks like this family is going to have one hell of a time inside of this cube, and somebody's watching and filming this from an apartment, from the safety of an apartment. And we're going to talk about what they're doing to the apartments as well. We're going to talk about how they're literally welding people shut in their apartments as well. But let's watch what happens now.
Wow. 太可怕了。
我被喜欢抓进去。
可是他们生病了。
所以他们要去哪里？
Okay, then we hear screaming from the cube. Now, this part's a little concerning to me. Like, my imagination runs wild, and the conspiracy theorist in me says that something happens inside this cube once they're inside it, but I don't think so. I think this girl that they get put in this cube is just going batshit crazy because she realizes now that she's in a cube. Like, you know, she followed the government and everything that they told her to do. She did like a good civilian. And, you know, that's the way of China and being a Chinese civilian. You listen to your government or else and you be a good little citizen. She crawled into the cube. She's in the cube now, isolated from everybody, wondering, how did I get myself in here? Oh, that's right. I'm a submissive person that can't stand up well and is afraid to for good reason. And she crawls into the cube, and now she realizes, holy shit, I'm in the cube. That's what I think's going on. I don't think there's any death ray inside. I don't think there's any spray inside. I don't think there's anything going on inside this cube other than the fact that she is in a cube, isolated by the government in the back of a pickup truck heading to God knows where. So it's a little bit scary. I could understand that. Like, if this was happening to my family like this, I would seriously debate whether I thought my government was a great government. This is why I love being American. You will never see this in America. And this is the first and only time that you'll hear this for usually the duration of about a year, where I actually say, God bless America, and I'm proud to be an American, because I don't think this would ever happen in America, in Canada, in like any country that had any common sense. Look at this. It's a cube. Normally I'm disgusted by what's going on in America right now. Normally, with everything going on in America right now, and it's a circus and it's literally reality TV, I get disgusted. But I have to say, I'm actually proud to be in America, because I don't think I'd ever see this in America, where the government comes in a pickup truck with a cube and shoves people in to go to like a quarantine area. Now, the quarantine areas, we'll show you that too. This is getting a little bit ridiculous here. She's screaming. There's just a bus casually going by. This is insane. Okay, so that's what I call the Chinese death cube. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, the Chinese death cube. Now, here we also have something very interesting the Chinese government is doing as well. This is to prevent that. This is how scary this is getting, man. This is like something out of Resident Evil. Like, why is everything very remnant of Resident Evil that is happening right now? So here we have a gentleman who's getting welded into his apartment. They literally are welding a man into his apartment. They're not telling him anything else than we're welding you in this apartment. Let's watch this. I will not interrupt.
临时管制进行硬隔离。完毕，请您配合。
我们是在配合呀，
对，配合就行了。
那你这个具体的讲一下，你这个硬隔离是要做什么措施？
现在硬隔离，
你先讲。
I am interrupting. I just have to. So we are your local government authorities, and we are telling you that we are welding your door shut. Any questions? No? Great. Now that that's all sorted, we're leaving you welded into your apartment.
我们给你锁起来。
怎么锁？
链条锁。
链条锁哪儿？
你锁门啊，不给你出来。
那我从里面是否就打不开？在逃生的情况下，
这个我也这个温馨提示一下。
The guy's legit being very rational. For a man who's getting welded shut into his apartment, he's asking very rational questions. This guy on the government end of things is being very irrational. All right. So this is how China is treating the coronavirus. This is about the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. This is going to blow up in China. The virus will literally blow up like this. The quarantine centers, they're putting people that they suspect have the coronavirus with people that have the coronavirus. They're not even separating them. They're not doing testing on them to see which ones have the coronavirus and which ones don't. They're literally lumping them all together if they just suspect them in these quarantine areas. They built these places in days. We'll show you that as well. But here we go. Let's continue. Let's see how the government's going to help this man being welded into his apartment. They literally weld the door shut.
在家里要做好个人的安全防护。
Oh, thanks.
安全用火，安全用电，如果有突发情况，自己处理不了，及时跟联系人告知战友。因为300钥匙都会就近放置的。
那我想问一下啊，领导，你们有人负责啊？多长时间能到岗？比如说你从门岗到这儿，几分钟能到？
你这个表就我们处置，除了你们自己承担责任以外，你们责任以外的由我们政府承担。
不是，你告诉我多长时间反应嘛？比如说我家正法着火了，煤气漏了，煤气爆炸了，我打120，120到楼下了，人下不出去。
这个我们都会。
Now the man's getting a little bit upset. Some of the people in my family here in the chat are asking me, like, where can I see the doors being welded shut? They're saying keys here, but you can see the doors being welded shut if you look in the news section of our Discord, particularly directing this towards Chris Erickson. You can actually see the apparatus that they put on these doors, where they're like an iron bar that they are welding these doors shut. Just go to our Discord and you can see that in there. If you look under what Invisible had posted, you can see a video where people are literally welding doors shut, and they're doing this en masse. This guy's starting to get upset. The guy that's living there is really saying, "Hey, what the hell, guys? How is this dude supposed to get food?" You know, like this is exactly what they're doing. They're locking them in. Hey, if you die, you die. This is how we're treating the virus. Hey, what's going on? What's going on there, Veg? Good to see you on stream.
你能？
咱的逻辑倒出来，怎么倒出来呢？以最快速度，以最快速度。
尽快
Let's
是
just
怎么
say
说？
he says, let's just say we'll get here as soon as possible. I'll lock you up. We don't really have the answers, but let's just call it a day and say I'm going to get there as soon as possible.
1天、2天、3天？
你这个没法说，好吧？
不是，尽快
This
用
guy,
有效
this
嘛。
guy's being
我
unreasonable.
们履行公务，请你们配合。
我们
房子是
一直在配合。
所有的，如果不配合的，要追究刑事责任的。好，
那我们先说一下我们的原因啊。你说完了，总归我们要交个言嘛。2点，第一点。
If there's one good thing that's going to happen out of all this, the Chinese people are going to see how the government are treating them, and there's going to be a revolt like you won't believe. If we see ourselves through this as a species, and it's going to get serious. I'm going to show you guys some numbers that perhaps were leaked by Tencent. I'm going to show you that as well on the coronavirus. But if we get through this as a species, and the Chinese people do as well, the only good thing that can come from this is that the Chinese people finally see exactly what the Communist Party is about and how they're treating the situation, and stand up and revolt against this crazy regime that has been dictating them for years. Not since Tiananmen Square have the Chinese really stood up and revolted against their government. Hopefully, this virus will make them look at the way the government is treating them, and they say to themselves, hey, you know, I'm a little bit upset on how you're handling the situation between locking us or welding us in our apartments and putting us inside of Chinese death cubes. Perhaps I'm a little bit upset. And perhaps the government will finally, or the people will finally stand up to the government. This is just
杭州市规定就是说不配合居家隔离，对吧？有
我
一次
现在一个你配合不配合？
我是在配合，我没有出来。
来，
这样，好了，等一下，
好了。
我要打电话投诉12345，已经不让你们装了。
This is not the way you deal with a situation like this, you know. Chief Gaw is saying it's extreme, but it's quarantine, and I understand that. We're dealing with a virus that's killing people, and I get it. But this is not the manner in which you do it. This is terrible. Locking people inside without any plan on how to help these people after the fact that you've literally welded them in, shut in to their own place. These quarantine facilities are absolutely horrible. There's no science behind it whatsoever. They're not checking people once they get in. They're not separating the healthy from the unhealthy. They're just throwing people in. And there's you can just start to look this stuff up. You can see footage. There was a gentleman here. Let me get into it. This is not all hearsay. In Time magazine, you can see a Chinese vlogger here detailing his life and possibly death. They're not even sure. This guy just visibly disappeared. He was vlogging the entire incident. He wanted to get this down. And let's watch a little bit of this gentleman here, who I consider a hero. He's going in. He's like, fuck it. He's like, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go ahead and film this whole thing as it unfolds. And of course, the Chinese government does not like that. So we need to squelch this guy, make this guy disappear. If you're the Chinese government, that's what they did to this guy. Nobody knows where he's at. But let's watch.
思路有点乱，因为我现在开始害怕了，我真的知道害怕了，因为武汉当地人根本就不去，就是没有不是很担心自己生病的人根本就不去医院，记者，那作为记者出现了灾难，你不敢第一时间冲到前线来，算什么记者呢？所以我坐最后一班高铁。
Here's some, and this is just a part of what I've seen. I've actually investigated this enough to know that they're not really testing people. Those that are healthy versus unhealthy. These are the quarantine areas that you see here. The construction you saw about 5 or 10 seconds back was actually the Chinese government erecting these quarantine facilities. They're not even hospitals. They're just lumping people in there. Nobody's getting treated. They're just lumping them in there. People are basically spreading the disease. If you want to talk about a way to actually ignite this virus, to make it go completely nuclear, then this is the absolute way to do it. And so he was documenting this, and you know, he's just saying this isn't the way, guys. But you know, the Chinese government got to blanket that.
如果是疑似病例，有的是感染的，有的是没感染的，把他们关在这么一个并不是完全隔绝的空间当中，他们彼此交叉感染的可能性是有的。这个方舱医院的形态明显是很像那种战地医院，或者说是什么水灾啊、地震啊之类的临时避难所，但是这并不适合传染病人居住。
Last week, Chen stopped posting. This is a article in Time magazine, on their site where literally this guy just disappeared from the face of the earth. Probably dead. That's speculation. Right, dude? This is straight out of a video game, man. Everything that's happening right now, ridiculous. So that it just continues to get worse. I hate to open up this way. Like DG in the morning, usually we just like to chill out and be a little bit positive, and I hate to absolutely open up this way, but this is something that's really, since I'm sick and Devin's sick at the house here. Devin actually was worried he had coronavirus. I'm like, dude, it's okay. You're okay, man. It's okay. It just happened to be a sinus infection mixed with the low-grade fever that he's got right now. So I'm helping him right now, making soup and everything. But, you know, sitting here today, we're kind of snowed in. Both of us are sick. And I was thinking to myself, you know, I saw this in the Discord. I wanted to do a little bit of research, and I wanted to get a little bit more out there for you guys so you knew what was going on with this. And nothing about what I'm reading and researching is good. Nothing. The epicenter seems to be in China. The Chinese government is more worried about suppressing information than anything else, than actually treating this correctly. And it's scary. Here's something this particular piece of information from the Taiwan news has been shown on a few other YouTube videos. I wanted to go over it here. The cases might have been misreported. This is speculation. They're saying, you know, the initial numbers they're reporting is somewhere around 30,000 people affected. Tencent, which we have covered here on the channel, you can look Tencent up and you can see what I think about Tencent. Possibly accidentally leaked the data on the coronavirus. It's showing here that number in red from left to right are nationally confirmed cases at 154,000. The yellow is suspected cases. So, you know, they're lumping people who are suspected in with those people that are confirmed. So now you literally have 230,000 people in China, 269 people cured, and 25,000 approximately deaths. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to DG in the Jesus, man. It's like, wow. So I hope you know, and then the BBC actually reported that there was a sharp increase in deaths the other day, at 242 deaths in a day on Wednesday. And here you can see this, which that chart doesn't look good. The spike in cases, with reporting now 1,370 deaths. So, man, I can't. I just can't keep talking about this, man. So, tell me what you guys think. I'm going to release this on my YouTube channel. Sorry for the depressing news. Nothing about this is good right now. And I've got to move on to the next topic. If you're watching this video, don't worry. We've got many more on the way. Thanks for joining us here on our YouTube channel on a video. Thank you to the family who is typing over here on our stream. We're going to continue our stream and have a good day. Don't forget to check out our full entire DG in the Morning podcast, I guess, because this is what I'm going to start doing more often, where we just chill out. You can check it out in our YouTube channel as well. And I'm streaming on YouTube, having a great time. See you on the next vid. All right, guys, I'm still here. Don't worry about it. I was just doing that for my YouTube channel. By the way, if you guys are digging this and you want more of it, please press that like button. Help us break the algorithm and do what you guys can do to get us out there. I would really appreciate that. Seriously appreciate it, because I'm learning that the more people are liking and commenting, the better overall exposure we get as a community. So appreciate it. I don't know why it's being covered up. You know, Blackbird says, why is all this being covered up? China, dude, China, because they want to save face. They want to look good, you know, to the community, and it has everything to do with trade. Right now they're pretty much cut off from the world. There was a cruise line. I didn't even go over that in the story, but there was also a cruise line that nobody would let land at any port. And I don't blame them, man. This is still scary. Like, people just kind of bunker in. I know I'm doing that. It hasn't even reached us here yet. There's 6 suspected cases in Ohio right now. 5 of them just got tested as negative, and one's currently out there where people are thinking it might be positive, and that's in Ohio. So, you know, that's like on the opposite end of the world of China. Like, Ohio is as far from China as you can get, and they're testing here, you know. So I just thought that death cube was ridiculous. You know, and did you guys see the name of this company? What was it? It looks like something out of Resident Evil. Like, you see the logo from the Umbrella Corp. What was that? Hold on, let me see if I can get that for you guys, because I hold on a second. There was let's see, China Umbrella. I bet if I type that up, that'll show. Yeah, look at this. This is ridiculous. This RSW which is like a virus facility, is like the same as the Umbrella Corp, but in like a teal color. I don't know if you guys saw that. Yeah, the problem is, Erad, is that, you know, I don't think it's going to be something that is as simplistic as the flu. I'm not quite sure. I don't think this is just all hype, dude. Erad's like, dude, the flu kills 60,000 people per year. I mean, we don't know the effects of how, like, viral this is. In fact, like, how fast this is going to spread, and also the ability for this virus to mutate. I wouldn't necessarily, like, I'm not one to, like, spark fear into people, but, like, anytime something new comes up like this, it just makes me a little suspicious, man. You know, this kind of just popped up here, and people are starting to get sick, and the way that they're containing it and dealing with it is ridiculous. I wouldn't say that those 20, you know, if those numbers are true, the 25,000 people out of, like, what do they say? Hold on a second, let's look at it. 25,000 deaths out of 154,000, if those numbers are true. Let's do that here. What is that? Math time. 16% death rate. So if 16% death rate. So I'm not quite sure if that's on par with the flu. I'm not quite sure that I would say that this is as innocuous as the flu. It might be. I don't know, man. It's too early. It's too early for me to tell you, Rad. You know? It's too early for me to tell. Sorry, Max. Max is like, this is a dark morning topic. Yeah, man. It's because I'm sick, and I was like, you know what? I wanted to talk a little bit about this. Plus, that death cube thing, man. I don't know why I'm referring it to as the Chinese death cube. It's terrible. But that was ridiculous. Like, could you imagine if this pulled up in front of your house? Like, could you just wait, hold on. Hold on a second. Where is this at? Why can't I get this to play? Come on. Like this. Could you imagine if a pickup truck by the government pulled up in front of your house with a cube with people in hazmat suits and pushed you into a cube? Like, if that was the way in which my government was dealing with the situation, I'd be a little bit upset. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully the Chinese people will, like, look at this after it's all said and done, and they will say to themselves, WTF, and they will revolt against this communist regime, which is about the most ridiculous thing to send these pickup trucks. The quarantine areas, I didn't even show you guys. I mean, like, I'm done. I'm done talking about it. But, like, I would just have you guys look up some of these quarantine areas and where they're shoving people. They're, like, how they're dealing with the situation is ridiculous. Ridiculous. It might be that the Chinese government know how dangerous this virus is and is in full panic mode. Absolutely, Techno. Good morning, man. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you, buddy. Blackbird says, what I read is that unless you come in physical contact with someone, it's actually no. What I read, Blackbird, is that it is, for lack of better term, that it's spreadable through the air, aerosol type. You can, you know, this like you can breathe it in through, you know, sneezing and this type of thing, just like Erad said, like a flu or a cold. I don't know if, you know, like, think about how long they've been suppressed by their government. Erad says they have no balls. The Chinese have no balls. I think they do, man. I remember growing up and seeing Tiananmen Square and that dude getting run over by a tank. Okay, that motherfucker had balls. That guy had some big old brass ones. And, you know, the fact that nothing happened, that Tiananmen is by far shocking to me. And you know, that makes me think, well, maybe the Chinese won't eventually revolt and overthrow the government, but I only think they'll be able to take it so long, which brings me into my next topic, which is also Chinese nature. Let's go over it now and get professional. All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to tell you guys to beware. If you're living in China and you're watching me, thank you so much. You're on your VPN. You're like, hey, man, I don't like being suppressed by my government. We just talked about it earlier. We're talking about it again, ironically. Valve is going to end up saying, hey, we're going to make a Steam just for people of China. They had a meeting, and this was something that was brought to my attention on our Discord. This is slightly old news, but in the vein of the things that we were talking about, how Chinese kind of suppress everything, I am not quite sure how the Chinese people can stand their government at this point. Most people are using VPNs to get into Steam to get their games, but it seems like Valve, in conjunction with Perfect World, which, by the way, the CEO of Perfect World has a company that he's the president of called the Human Corporation, or the Human Software Corporation, which I tried to look up and I could not find exactly the origins of this corporation. It's a very concerning name of a corporation, but I'll leave it at that. And the reporter at the event eventually talks to the Steam man in charge at the event about this, new Steam China, So I wanted to read some of the portions of this interview here for you guys, because I thought this was pretty interesting. And it really sheds light on just how important the Chinese market is to the gaming industry because of the amount of people sitting there, but also the complete lack of balls that these companies have when it comes to just selling out and saying, okay, we're going to sell to you guys and we're going to completely let you guys censor us. Now, of course, we're talking about capitalism. We're talking about companies that want to make a buck. But in the end, you also have to ask yourself, like, is it worth it? Is it worth it to sell out? If you're an American type company or a company that believes in freedom and you're selling to a company that does this and monitors its own people in a communistic setup, are you okay with it? Apparently, a lot of people are. Valve is one of those people, and this is just a sign of the times. Here we got the reporter talking to one of the men at the event, who's one of the directors at Valve. His last name is Powers, and the reporter says, "So Steam is available as it stands in China. Yesterday, I was able to buy, download, play a game without a VPN. So what's behind this? Was it an internal decision?" And Powers says, "So Steam China is going to be a much better experience for the Chinese customer." Okay, first off, that sounds like a really corporate thing to say. Like, oh, Steam China's gonna be so much better with all its limitations and also all the censorship. We're gonna make it the best censored product that's out there. Like, I don't even understand how the Chinese can handle this. China has the ability to get VPNs and go outside to get YouTube, to get other people's opinions of the world. And they can kind of pair themselves up with other countries and hopefully don't fall for their government's rhetoric. And they start to see, like, hey, hit them in their homes the way that the gaming industry does, where once you have games, it's their only escape from this kind of weird 1984 reality that they're living in, and games tend to be their escape, as it is for most of us anyway. And when they're gaming now, like, they're coming in and they're going to see like a Steam China that's going to literally censor every game, like the actual content of the game itself. To me, like, the Chinese aren't standing up and revolting, especially what we talked about with the coronavirus. I just hope they do. I think they're going to get at a breaking point, Anyway, local servers, all localized content, so it's different in that it's just a service target the Chinese gamers, as opposed to right now where Chinese gamers are coming to Steam, but it's it's outside of China that they're accessing. Right now, it's how they're doing it. So was it a decision on Valve's part to start Steam China? I'm not sure. I know the genesis of exactly how the conversation started. What? We've worked with Perfect World for a long time. They've published Dota and CSGO in partnership with Valve. I think in some sense we've been working with them for a long time in terms of what Steam would look like in China, but I don't know the genesis. Now, this guy isn't like a higher up, so, he probably truly doesn't know. The more I think about it, this guy isn't like one of the higher ups. He's just a representative of Valve at this event. And then the reporter says, I guess what I'm dancing around is, are there regulations in China about what's appropriate for a Chinese audience? So was that a driving force behind a Steam China that was a little bit more curated in that sense? Power says, yeah, We want Chinese customers to have really high quality access to Steam games. And that means getting a set of games approved through the appropriate channels. Yeah, the appropriate channels. We know all about the appropriate channels. And a service that is local. I mean, the only benefit really for the Chinese people is that the servers will be local. So hopefully there will be like faster speeds for them when it comes to like the downloads and those that are going to be streaming. If they're offering a streaming service like they do on Steam, that they do here, that we're all aware of, the servers that are right there, they can have fast download times. Features make their quality of life better, obviously. And when it comes to the download times, is it that big of a deal? You know, it depends. It really depends upon how often you're buying games and how cool you are with waiting for those download times. But I mean, that would be the only benefit that I would see on this China Steam that I'm reading about. Will there be some kind of community or forum or discussion area? As I know, that's one part you can't access right now in China. Yeah, I think that's our long-term goal, says Powers, because they're not going to have one. By the way, the article states that they're not going to release like a forum area for people to express their opinions. Wow, what a shocker! I'll link the article down in this highlight when I'm finished with this video. But I thought it was interesting because when you read the article, what it says is that they will not allow like forums initially, and hopefully eventually, like Powers is saying here, that they'll eventually, like, those are the long-term goals, to convince the Chinese dictators that it's okay for people to express their opinions on the Steam forums. God forbid. You know what you're gonna see. You know, if you have these forums, the Chinese people are like, hey, when I download the actual game off of China Steam, I'm able to see some boobs. On this, I'm not particularly able to, so I'm not quite sure I like China Steam. Use your VPN, citizens of China. That's what you would see on the forums, and of course, we don't want to see that. The Chinese government will not allow you to see better versions of what it is they're suppressing. And on the topic of curation, I know that's obviously come up in the past with Steam in the rest of the world, and that's not something you seem to be keen on. Your attitude has been essentially anything that's illegal goes. So have you had a shift in attitude, or is it that you feel China requires a different attitude to that? I mean, obviously it's a different market. Like, this guy is just the most corporate, sleazy, scummy guy. Like, when I read this, he just comes off that way through the text. I mean, obviously it's a different market where there's just a process that games have to go through. This is not like a normal process, Mr. Powers. This is not Austin Powers for sure that we're talking to here. If this is Austin Powers, he'd be like, yeah, baby. Let them have what they want, baby. This is definitely a different Powers. The way we operate Steam worldwide, where it's really developers coming to us, they sign up, they ship their game. You just can't have that same operation here. And so we're working with the processes in place, and we'll get as many games on the platform as you can, but there's just a limit. And by definition, kind of has to be a little bit more curated. No shit that it has to be. Oh, man. Do you think there are some lessons you can learn from that approach that you could maybe apply in a Western environment? I don't know about lessons. This is cracking me up. I'd love to have been a fly on the wall during this interview. I don't know about lessons. I think it'll be interesting to see just how a market reacts to a more curated storefront. I mean, we know a lot of that. I've been at Steam a long time, and I remember when Steam was very curated for a number of reasons as well, that we worked really hard to kind of eliminate over the years some of those barriers. But yeah, I think we'll just be interested in how consumers react to it. Yeah, really? Of course you are. You're gonna wonder. You're gonna wonder if the Chinese citizens are okay with having all these like censored games. This is ridiculous here. This is a ridiculous conversation. And if we do learn something that tells us we should be more open to that kind of storefront, then we'll take that data and consider it. Oh, great. So if this turns out to be successful in one of the world's largest markets, they're going to take that data and apply it to everybody else. Oh, gee, thanks, China. Way to piss on our games, man. I hope this day, just for the sheer numbers that China has, man, that data's going to be skewed and we're all going to get a whole bunch of crap, man. We're all going to get, thanks, China. You just ruined our games, man. You guys better stand up and revolt against this. This is absolutely ridiculous. And there's an expectation as well that companies will sort of self-regulate in a way. I think Tencent is an example where it implemented timelines for younger players off its own back before government regulation came in. By the way, Chinese government came in and they're telling their citizen base that they have, I believe we did the story on this a few months back, where they're limiting the amount of play time, I think, to an hour a day. That might be wrong. Apologies. I cannot remember, but I do remember the story in itself where China is coming in and limiting the amount of hours that people can play during the week and the weekends. Also in conjunction with their new face technology, their face cam technologies, their camera technologies, where they literally are hooking up to people and saying, okay, this is the person, this person is logged in, possibly doing that. Again, that is very speculative, but we do know that they do have the software to look underneath masks and identify somebody based on the software that they do have. We did that story a while back, and that is legit news. There's just policy and laws in place that we have to follow. So yeah, we'll adhere to all of those. Oh, I don't even know if I can finish the rest of this. It's starting to make me, let's keep going. Let's try. I'm going to force myself through this. This is getting ridiculous. Jumping back to the topic of forums again. If I wanted to find something unsavory on the Steam forums in the rest of the world, it wouldn't take me long. Obviously, China being China, that's not going to be able to fly out here. Have you thought about how this reporter is being real? I'm glad about that. Have you thought about how you're going to manage that yet? If you're going to have forums there, have to be some kind of moderation. Yeah, they're gonna have government officials being forum moderators on Steam. That's freaking hilarious. I think we have a little bit, but nothing that's in place that we could talk about at this point for fear of death. Okay, you've talked about how there's going to be a different curated version of the store. Do you have, wait, I can't even finish reading that. Do you have any idea of how that's going to look, even visually? We do. We didn't bring any of that here, and in due time, and hopefully pretty soon, we'll have more information about launch timing, and what it's going to look like. But until we have a bunch of designs for what the experience is going to look like, and it's great. Bunch of designs, yeah, giant Chinese flags and giant stars and the communist leaders, the great communist leaders and dictators over time being the decorative background of Steam's new China Steam. We're all very excited about where it's headed. It really is good. Oh my God. The benefit of having a smaller group of games is you could really feature them in ways that's hard to do on what? That is the biggest line of BS that I've ever heard. Listen to this guy. The benefit of having a smaller group of games is you can really feature them in ways that it's hard to do on the rest of world Steam. So he's trying to make China Steam stand out by saying that having a limited amount of censored games is better than a variety of games at your disposal. Like, can you imagine how this guy's trying to sell this? This is almost sick. I don't know what's more sick. His very capitalistic approach, which, believe me, I love capitalism, but this is capitalism at an extreme, or like this communist background, this backset of this story where everything's going to get censored. It's ridiculous. So we're excited to tell you guys more about that stuff. We're so excited. We're so excited. We're so excited to tell you about our censored game lineup. It's just, I can't talk about it. He keeps referring that he can't talk about it. I don't think it's anything contractual. I think his life is in jeopardy. Oh, all right. Thank you, Max. Yeah. Using that new alert. There's Mom and Zoe putting their hands in the air. Thank you so much, Max Power, for becoming a member and pushing that join button. I really appreciate that. Put some action in here. Max Power putting some action up in this stream. Thank you so much, man. All right, so changing something. The reporters had enough. Like, he's so stressed out. He's like, all right, so changing subjects. A part of the negative sentiment towards one of our rivals, the Epic Game Store, is based on a quite broadly anti-Chinese sentiment, with it being at least part owned by Tencent. absolutely true. This reporter, that is great that he said that. With things like it supposedly being a security risk coming up a lot, justified or not. We talked about Tencent. We talked about how they're buying up all these gaming companies, not just gaming companies, but software companies, telephone communication companies. Tencent, you guys got to look it up on my channel. When you get a chance after the stream, just type in Tencent into my search on the channel and you'll see a story I did about Tencent. And it's very, very disturbing what Tencent's doing. Are you concerned at all that there might be a similar attitude for Steam now that your store of rubber stamping Steam in China, working more closely, respective people here? Great question. I'm glad I continued reading this. Power says, I really don't want to have a comment on other services. Like, he's scrambling. Powers is really scrambling on this. He doesn't even want to answer this question. You can see by the size of this paragraph that he's going to bullshit his way out of this one. It's not really appropriate for me to talk about. We are expecting excitement from Chinese customers. So he's like, let me just focus you back on China Steam is what he's saying. Dota and CSGO have been very well received here. So he's going to like popular titles. He's trying to like get out of this question. He's squirming his way out of this question. And we went through a similar process to get those games through in the Chinese market. Solanthus is not new to us. It's a different animal. It's a bunch of third-party games and it's not all stuff that is ours, but we're really expecting the reception to be quite positive. And as you said earlier, we have a lot of Chinese customers that are customers of Steam now. And we're trying as hard as we can make it as good an experience as possible with payments. This guy literally did not answer this man's question. He's basically like, we're going money, 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 yo. This is the answer to the reporter's question. Powers is like, money, 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 money. Everything's okay. Money, money, money. Everything's okay. That's literally what Powers is saying here. This is how he's answering the question. He's not answering the question at all. He's just, everything's fine. We're a company. We're trying to make money. We're not worried about the social implications, the morality of it, any of the ethical issues about this. It's fine. Profit and money. All right. There we go, guys. There we go. So that's it for that story. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys on the next vid. Boom. All right, guys. We are owning it up today. Very, very, very nice. Thank you, Max, for becoming a member, dude. Super appreciate you. And we're going to get into some Star Citizen. Let us just talk about that. We got some interesting polls here. We're going to go over too. Well, thanks, Max. That's nice, dude. Don't worry. As a member of the YouTube, you're also entered into the giveaways, man. And we're going to be having a giveaway. So I wanted you guys to know that we are giving away a Pisces C8X and also an Avenger on the channel. If you go to our Patreon page, Titan. So you can go to our Patreon, put down $1, become a member, or like Max did, push the join button, and you will be entered in 2 giveaways every single month. If you're watching this podcast in the morning, guys, please push the like button and let's do our best to get us out there and promote this community. Thank you. It's nice to see that. It was nice to see the new alert. I really appreciate that. That was cool, Max, to do that. Did you guys like the alert? You like, Mom's looking pretty good, huh? She's feeling kind of sick lately too. But that was Mom and Zoe, and they were doing this little dance, man. So I got my phone on, and I was like, I gotta get this, and I'm gonna use this as an alert. I like the join alert too, or that was the join alert, but I like the subscribe alert too. I'm really liking YouTube. I'm getting more people here. I'm having a better time. I'm probably gonna use Twitch for like gameplay. So I'll be playing Star Citizen like Wednesdays, I think, is the day I'm gonna do gameplay Wednesdays on my Twitch channel, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays. And for ISCRs, I'm gonna go ahead and stream here on YouTube. So I can't wait to really crack back into Twitch as well. And I'm very upset with Twitch. Like, there's a lot of people in here that understand, because I got banned from Twitch for 14 days. J Dub says, I liked it. Mom and Zoe having fun. Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. It's really nice. Okay, so now it is time for you lucky dogs that stayed with me this morning and are chilling out. We're going to talk about the pulls that we took here. And I'm trying to figure out which one we should do first. Probably the subscriber one for Star Citizen. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, let's do that. All right, let's get professional, guys. And we've got a poll, and we're going to go over it and your comments. And there was quite a few votes on this. So let's get busy. Hello. Yes, our family took a poll here. We wanted to know how many of you were subscribers to Star Citizen. And I found this very interesting. After what we called on Friday the bobblehead debacle, I put this out there shortly after that. So this poll might be negatively slanted. I'm going to try and be as positive as possible when I go over it. And also, I would like to tell you guys that the information I had found in the recent post from Cloud Imperium, where if you are an Imperator, a $20 subscriber, you will have the ability to fly a Carrack this month. So that might change people's minds about being a subscriber or not, since there's so many people who really want to fly the Carrack. There might be a shift in the amount of subscribers back towards the positive again. But like I said, we're going to go after this. I'll try and be as positive as possible. What we have seen from late has been lackluster, both in the Inside Star Citizens and the Star Citizen Live. Thank you, Killian, for that $2, dude. I appreciate you very, very much, man. It was nice of you to put that money down. Thank you. Boom. Let's look at the comments. Here's the results of the poll. 490 of you voted. 490 of you voted here. And 32% of you said you're subscribers. So that's pretty decent, actually. That's a pretty decent amount of people. There we go. the alert finally kicked in. Thank you so much, Killian, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much, man. That super helps out. So 32%, that's a pretty big chunk right there. That's nearly 150 some people. And 68% are not subscribers. There's a lot of people who are interested in the Carrack. There's also people that are not, like Erad in our chat, who's saying he's not interested in the Carrack at all. Wow, Erad, that's quite the statement, dude. I am interested in the Carrack because I love exploration mechanics, and I love the fact that on one of the Star Citizen Lives, they did announce that they are going to have what exactly we had talked about earlier, where they're going to find discoverable wormholes by people that will be able to use exploration-based ships and find these, and it should be interesting to see the effects of the economy. So that was something that was talked about that I did find interesting. And I am interested in exploration, and I am interested in the Carrack. From what I've seen of it, I like the looks of it, and the fact that it kind of has like a multi-rule purpose is also very interesting as well to me. So anyhow, 32% are subscribers, 68% are not subscribers, and I think what we're going to see in the comments here are people telling us why they unsubscribed after the bobblehead debacle. But let's go over these. And, you know, I'm going to try and be as positive as possible, because with the new news that we had received last night that I broke here, where they're going to be implementing in the PTU 3.8.2 long-term persistence, meaning that your purchases will exist after most patches until Star Citizen decides that, hey, or Cloud Imperium decides they will wipe. So that's a big deal. Having your total amount stay in your Mobiglass, your actual account credit amount stay, is a pretty big deal, especially for those that are involved in trading and those that want to buy ships in game as well. Those ships will stay. Hopefully we can get rid of some of the duplication errors that we saw. I believe the update did mention something about that. Go to the channel if you're interested in that. But let's read through some of your comments as to why you are a subscriber or not. The question posted was, how many of your subscribers paying the $10 to $20 a month fee to RSI and SIG? I would also love to hear why you are not subscribers. Or why you are bleh. I would also love to hear why you are or are not a subscriber. Bleh. I'm sick today. Apologies. I gotta drink a little bit more tea here. We'll go over this live on this week's stream. Well, we're here now. So let's start reading the comments. Excuse me. Energine says, no way. Oh, Energine, man, he's starting it off with a bang. 15 people upvoted to the top. Wow. So, I think what we're seeing here is people very upset at the content lately. I think today's Inside Star Citizen, the content is going to be better. They're going to give us a little more information on the Carrack. It has been lackluster. But I'm trying to find some positivity here. But anyway, Energine's not going to have it. He's like, no way. And frankly, I wish others would stop it. Companies love subscription revenue so they don't have to worry about producing timely products as money is coming in. It's like a universal law of nature, but like dogs, if you give them treats for doing nothing, you better not expect them to just leap up and start doing gymnastics one day from all of your loving, if misguided generosity. In my opinion, of course, make them earn every cent. Wow. Hardcore capitalist energy. There's parts of me that agree with you. There's other parts of me that look at that comment and say, when it comes to me creating content, I'm so super appreciative of those people that are my patrons and those people that push the join button. And I depend upon that. Now, the money is intended for production and content value coming from Cloud Imperium. So I get what he's saying. This subscription money is going directly to Cloud Imperium to make us content. And the content this year has started off with a dud. So I get where Energine's coming from. I totally get it. Mr. Flocka. Hello, Mr. Flocka. How you doing, dude? I subscribe purely to assist the project, much the same as my reasons for pledging. That's kind of where I'm at as well. I have been frustrated as of late personally myself. I might have even considered stopping my subscription after this bobblehead debacle that happened. But again, I am a content creator and I need to stay plugged in for you guys so that I can get as much content and news out to you guys as I can. So I have reasons why I am a subscriber as well. But I also like the fact that it does help support the people making content. And hopefully the content, and that's why I argue, hopefully what we're going to see is better content. I mean, really, because like the money is going directly to the people to make the content in terms of the actual subscription money. And personally, I don't know. I think that line might be blurred a little bit. I don't think like every single dollar that is subscriber money literally goes to making those things. I mean, that's a blurry line. And I think as a business, I think that's what Chris says, but I don't think that's necessarily how the money flows personally. It's revenue. When you're talking about, subscription money, ship sale money, these types of like ways of creating revenue, it's purely revenue. Like when you're looking at the bottom line and you're looking at the earnings, it's revenue. It all goes to the revenue column. Anyway, Mr. Flacha says, I'm involved to help develop the game. Fun is just a bonus. I understand the process involved extensively, and I appreciate the effort they have gone to this far, as it's one of the most complex open developments I have ever had the privilege of experiencing. I think a lot of people are being very dramatic in regards to the project and should learn to relax and enjoy the process of development. I get that angle too. I do. I get that angle because I've been a backer for 4 or 5 years, and I get what he's saying. Mr. Facha, I get what you're saying, dude, because it is a cycle. And, like we all get hyped up with CitizenCon, right? We're all like, woo, we all see what CitizenCon has. And then after the fact, we go, okay, what's the reality of the situation? Because we're standing at the station, the hype train goes choo choo, flies past. And then we're standing there thinking like, okay, seriously, what's going to happen? And usually at the beginning of every year, this is the cycle. People get in this mode where we're just like, and we literally gotta like get to the details. It's important though that we stay skeptical as far as the business model is concerned, in my mind. So it's a balancing act. I swear, even when this game goes gold, the same toxic complainers will still be sitting there in the past, stuck in some pre-2015 insane asylum. I get the people that are consistently naysayers, that are consistently saying this game will never get created, that refuse to see some of the progression that has happened to Star Citizen. So I get where he's coming from there. Great comment. Michael says, what? A monthly payment now for a game that is still not released? I think the whole purpose of it is to actually help out the project personally. So I get that, but I don't think I'd take that extreme of a stance, but I understand where you're coming from, dude. Koof says Sid can't deliver even basic line of their work, aka the guys. Why would I give them any money on top of what I already paid them for? It is not like we have one game out there and they are working on some videos. No, the video production became their focus, number one, because it creates false hype and brings them in more cash. I don't think that that's purely it. I do see the generation of revenue through commercials and ship sales, but I wouldn't say that it's really false. Where I would be very critical, Kuv, is in concept sales. I have been a big proponent of not having concepts sales anymore. I think that from this point forward, they create the ship, they introduce it in a commercial, and then they sell it. And then it's flyable. That's exactly how I think it should be done at this point of the development curve. So I get where you're coming from there, bro. I really do. I get the frustration. Commander Hawk 22 says, I'm not a subscriber, nor will I ever be. I spent over 10 grand at this project, and now I completely wish I hadn't. Now, this is kind of what I call buyer's remorse, Hawk. And I hate to use you as an example, dude, because I'm not trying to be nasty here, man. I'm really not. But I understand the excitement and if you have the money, good for you, man. Good for you. By the way, consider going to my Patreon page, man. Consider it. But don't spend too much, because I'm going to limit you. And I'm going to tell you that you have a limit, man. And that's what I'm trying to say. You know, like, I see this every once in a blue moon, like Commander Hawk, where, you know, a lot of money was put into it. And because you've invested or pledged a lot of money, it feels like an investment of the heart. And you get attached big time to it because you put so much into it that you expect like immediate results. And we know we have had nothing immediate from Cloud Imperium, but you guys get what I'm saying there. So Hawk, I would just say best of luck to you, bro. And I think that the project will be successful personally. So hang in there, bro. Hang in there, man. Pepig Walrus says, I just canceled mine the other day. Now this, again, is probably because of the bobblehead debacle we had on Friday. And this poll was really released after that, and not after the fact of the news that I just released last night of the long-term persistence, which I think is going to be a huge game changer for Star Citizen. And I think that's huge news. Anyway, Pepik says he just canceled. Kind of meant to do it a bit ago, but kept forgetting. Right now shows are a bit lackluster, and subscriber flares can always be picked up easily later on. I get him. I get where he's coming from. I mean, if you're not happy with the content, obviously you're not going to be a subscriber anymore. And that's what I've been saying on the last Inside Star Citizens. I've been saying that verbatim. I've been saying, hey, if you guys are not interested in the content that you've been seeing from Inside Star Citizen Live lately, then you're going to lose subscribers. I've been saying that to Cloud Imperium in the Inside Star Citizen review streams. Alpha Citizen says, not a sub. 120 a year is a Cutlass Red every year. Rather have the fleet than the VIP perks. Smart man. Smart man. I like the way he thinks. I like the way he thinks. Tom Olivares says, I've stared at what the subscriptions offer a few times, so far trying generously to justify the cost, but I really can't see the value outside of the idea of helping development. Maybe $5 would be a better price point. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. You know, like making a smaller pledge amount, subscription amount. Totally agree with that, man. Ted says he's not a subscriber. By the way, Ted, hello. Tell everybody Aurora I said hi. Love those guys. Not a subscriber. While I have chosen to make this game my hobby, I still only have a limited amount to spend on it, and I'm still building my fleet. Even when I'm done with that, I might subscribe for 1 month and buy all the back dated flare items that I want. But philosophically, I'm supposed to subscription games. I grew up with you. Buy a game, one and done. All right, Ted. By the way, the subscription flare this month is cool winter jackets. So these are the things you get when you're a subscriber. I'm not, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not too, you know, the other month was like sunglasses. They always try and do something different for the people that subscribe, at least put the game. So I got to respect them for at least trying. But yeah, like I think we should get a little bit more for the $10 or $20 value. That's just my opinion, but at least they're trying to do something. Speakeasy, what's up, Speak, my bro? I would have no problem subscribing to SC if I knew the money was going towards development. It's not according to CR. At the end of every video states the money is going towards making videos like these, unless he is lying. On the other hand, if all that sub money is going towards videos, then why is the length of vid shortened drastically and whole shows being cut? Boom, 100% hit the nail on the head. We're talking about the quality of content versus what it is, how many subscribers and how many people are paying for the content. Absolutely Speak. But I really think, going back to like the money, the subscription money, I really think that not all that money is going towards the content, as Chris has stated. That's preposterous to me as a businessman. I think some of that money is just going towards everyday business costs. You know, that's just, again, my opinion. By the way, I would like to take some time to thank those that are live with me on stream as we cover this poll. The great comments. When I make this a highlight, you should be able to see the comments, or if you watch our podcast series DG in the morning, you'll be able to see the actual live chat. And so please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like this stream that we're having now. It'll help us all out here spreading the word of this community, because it is a great A+ community. Absolutely love the fam here. None of your business. None of your business, eh? I paid $1,000 to play this game. I still pay more to play World of Warcraft over 10+ years. That's how I justify my purchases. The subs I paid the WoW really turned me off of monthly payments for anything game related. Sorry, Nanya. That's just kind of how I imagined you saying that. And we'll move on to the next comment. I hear you, bro. I hear you. Maybe you don't talk like that, but I have a lot of fun, and I felt like that's how you were talking, with your name being Nunya. Hammer Dookie, one of my favorite names. To be completely honest, I have no problem pledging money and getting a ship as a thank you, and I know this sounds hypocritical, as it is a way to help fund the project and increase its chance to achieve fruition, but the subscription just doesn't seem worth it to me. Maybe if every so often the subscription reward was an LTI token or something for reaching a certain amount of time for being a subscriber. That's a pretty decent idea. Flair is nice, but maybe offer something a little more substantial. Boom! You got a heart for me, Hammer Dookie. You got a heart for me. Totally agree, man. What is this? Gracha the file. Gracha the file. I'm not ashamed to watch all that money go to. Well, it goes to something. Hell, at this point, they should just say that money gets given to development, and what scraps are left over gets tossed to media and subscriber content, because I see no difference between this idea and current events. All right, Graco the file. Thank you. That was, I don't know what this is turning into, but I'm starting to dig it. Kirmuk Tudor says, I believe in Chris's dream. I love science fiction and can't wait to play. Huge fan of you, DG. Keep making the content, you rockstar. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tudor. Thank you, Mr. Tudor. I appreciate you. And that is very nice of you to say that. When I see that, it inspires me and keeps me motivated. I so appreciate you for saying that. Paz says, imagine paying a monthly subscription to Seg. Oh, Paz. Man, I love you, but we got to get you more positive. Can somebody give Paz a positivity shot? I love Paz, but Paz comes into almost every video I do or I make, and he gets in like a negative kind of, it's okay, Paz. I love you, man. There's got to be a way we can make Paz smile. I just want to see a picture of Paz in the Discord smiling. Paz, if you're listening, go to our Discord channel, and in the selfie section, post a picture of yourself smiling for me, please, dude. I just want to see you smile. Like every time I see comments from you, I just feel like you're sad. And like, I don't want to see you this way. I want to like have an intervention for you. I want us to be there for you. We're family. You're in our community. And I just want you to be happy, dude. So please, if you're listening, go there, post a picture, and maybe you'll see yourself on a video. on another stream, dude. Michael Ives. What's up, Michael? Michael's one of my favorite fans. Thank you, Michael, for being here on this poll. This is awesome. They have done very little to earn my subscriber money. In-game sunglasses, a knife, a shotgun. Michael's hitting on what I just talked about earlier. A knife, a shotgun, 3 different level 20 damage protection space armor suits earn 1 painstaking price per month, and the privilege of playing the PTU 1 week before all the commoners. For that, I pay an extra $120 a year. Dude, Michael, it's what we're talking about. They need to look at their subscription plan. They need to look at what it is they're actually offering to their subscribers, and that will help bolster the amount of support. I mean, you looked at the last Friday's video, the bobblehead debacle. Yes, it was a 2013 goal. In fact, after the live video that I had done, like the alert where I was literally like, I can't believe this bobblehead stuff is out here. Is this for real? Is it a joke? It was for real. There were fans who said, hey, DG, go back to 2013. This is actually a stretch goal. And I was like, wow, okay, well, they're getting this done at least. But do we need to spend an hour and 7 minutes on bobbleheads? When we look at the other content that is the paid content by subscribers that should matter, like Inside Star Citizen being literally 7 to 8 minutes long on the last episode, and thinking to ourselves like, wait a second. Now, Jared looked a little bit more hyped up for this one that's coming up today, so I'm actually looking forward to chilling out with you guys and seeing what Jared has to say. Because the commercials that they're creating that I think are a very good idea for Inside Star Citizen create a little bit of that hype. It seemed like Jared was a little bit more positive and upbeat. So thank God the past 3 episodes have been just like Jared looking like something is up, and the information is very restricted. Something's going on. Hopefully that just kind of blows over and we just say, okay, let's have a good Inside Star Citizen episode with a little bit more meat to it. What was I saying? Makielheru, not a subscriber. Besides that, I cannot afford it. I find the monthly rewards aren't enough to reward us. I also don't have a desire to play on Evocati just because I don't have as much patience as others do for bugs. That having said, that doesn't mean you're always Evocati, by the way. Just by being a subscriber does not make you Evocati. You have to like continually report on bugs and show like a lot of hours in order to be considered to be Evocati. I'm not Evocati because personally, I want to be able to, when there's new things out, be able to leak it to you guys to let you know what's out. And as an Evocati member, I would not be able to do that. So I would not, I'm not involved in that. Max Power says, I was for a couple years. After I canceled, I still get all the girls and free flight ships, so that's cool. I canceled because there was no value to me anymore, and the declining content online pushed me over the edge. If subs got, say, free fly on an entire manufacturer road a month, I could be lured back. All right, Max, cool, dude. And thank you. Max is actually not a subscriber of Cloud Imperium, but he is of the channel here. He's a member. He just did that today. So I wanted to thank Max again for doing that, man. Thank you very, very much. J Dubs. What's up, J Dubs? VIP J Dubs, what's going on, dude? Oy vey, where to begin? Well, DG, according to Ash, I put up a wall of text. That, by the way, Ash is a member of our community. I love Ash. He's a cool dude. He put up a wall of text on the SC Discord where I posted my response to the web page spectrum. I am a multi-year Imperator subscriber. That's your $20 a year, by the way. That means I give Sig $240 a year to make video content. I don't say this to say I'm special, but to explain my views. I could buy a Polaris with the money I've given to Sig to make videos. Personally, I feel like the respect and thankfulness for subs has dwindled from Sig over the years and is now at rock bottom. They need to have a customer service reset. Hallelujah, man. Hallelujah. I absolutely agree with you. Like the interaction between those that are creating the content and the developers and those that are helping them and pledging money. There needs to be a come to Jesus meeting. I totally agree, J-Dubs. If subs are not happy with the videos made or how questions are answered, that will eventually hit Sig in the pocketbook. Not to mention erode trust from the company and its public face. Just for example, I was a little shocked this week when someone asked on the live stream if there would be any content this week on game design development, and Jared beat him down, telling a person they should have watched Thursday's show. This is where Jared has to be careful and not let feelings get in the way. You know, it's hard to do that. As a content creator myself, I get where Jared's coming from. because you have like emotional days, you have days that are hard in real life where they start to affect you, and you're streaming to those people, and you're really only thinking about yourself sometimes because of the crap day that you've had, or, like Devin and I are sick right now and we're snowed in. And I've literally today was kind of depressed, but like hanging out with you guys and chilling with you guys got me positive. And that should be the focus. The focus should be like community, and the focus should be like having a good time with the people that are sitting here all communicating together. This isn't just a me thing. This is an us thing. And I think that sometimes Jared needs to take a breath and look at this constructive criticism. I think Jared's doing the best that he can do. But if this is what we're getting here as far as like the overall opinion and appearance of what subscribers are seeing from Jared, then that's concerning to me. I want the project to be successful. I want there to be more subscribers. And I think J-Dubs is hitting on something that's what I call #truth. This is real talk that J-Dubs is saying right now. Let's see here. This is horrible customer relations. I can't help but ask, how the hell did we get to this point? And this is not just the first time I've seen Jared go off on a questioner live. Sad. All right, dude. Good stuff. Talked about this and brought up points on some of the things you've mentioned. Dig it. All right, Jay, you got the first reply. You got the first reply from me on this. This is a moment I'm going to take, and I'm going to talk with the people in my live chat right now. I just want to kind of like read, see what's going on over there. This is they're here, they're live. Erad says, glad you are here, DG. Thank you, Erad. T-Love says, Jared is probably burnt out and he needs to put other community relations to the front. Yeah, I feel like that's what we've been seeing, T-Love. I feel like that is exactly what we've been seeing, is that Jared is burnt out, which is weird too, T, because at the beginning of the year, you would expect they'd be refreshed from, the break that they had over Christmas and New Year's. So I was expecting like a vitality to come back into the Star Citizen live, at least with Jared, and to see Jared the way maybe there's some personal things happening or something in the office that's happening to him. And like, I'm not quite sure, but today's Inside Star Citizen may show a little bit more light. And, I'm really, really looking forward to today's. I think we're going to see a positive Inside Star Citizen today. At least that's what I'm hoping for. The commercial showed me a reason to be a little bit more positive, because we're going to get some Carrick information. J-Dubs is laughing. He's like, dude, I'm right here while you're busy reading my comment on the poll. J-Dubs is laughing right now because he's like, dude, I am right here in the chat. I know, dude. I know you are. Let's see what Jay the Bosun's like, dude, he's calling him out. High five. Jay Bosun is high fiving J-Dubs there. It says 2 J's. They're like brothers. Those two are like brothers. Cypher saying he's preparing his Carrick for 3.8.2. Yeah, dudes. I mean, like that might be like a pickup in positivity. Like I mentioned, long-term persistence in 3.8.2 in the PTU is supposedly here. I've been hearing feedback from the family in the Discord saying that they're still having some issues. I expected this. I think this is nice that at least we see them focusing on the fact that they want this for the community, and that the community has been talking about this. The antithesis of wanting long-term persistence, or the argue against it, are people saying, hey, let's look at the fact that people are going to manipulate this or find exploits to this. And I really think that while that is serious and very well, thought out argument against long-term persistence, and that it's in an alpha, that's another reason, like, hey, it's an alpha. I think at this point in the project, it is important that we have this long-term persistence to move forward for retention rates, for people to be interested, not to grind for no reason. Like the anti-argument against long-term persistence is saying, hey, it doesn't matter because we're in an alpha. And that's one of the arguments. And to that argument, I say, well, yes, we're an alpha, but hey, we are 7 years along People are having great experiences in the game all up until the point when they wipe it. You start out from zero. Those that are industrial minded, those that are traders, they kind of are like, oh, I did all this work for nothing. So perhaps by implementing this long-term persistence in 3.8.2, if all is successful in the PTU, this sliding over to the PU will be a very good thing and a step in the right direction. That is what my hope is for. So, that's where I stand in terms of that. And I want to gear myself a little bit more positive as of late because, frankly, it was a depressing start in 2020. A depressing start. Epic says Epic's showing some ERAD love in the chat. He says we need to get bounty hunting for you. And then ERAD says I'm happy with the current bounty hunting. Can't wait for the next iterations. Yeah. Yep. I still need permanent persistence, says Misfit. Yeah, you're not going to see permanent persistence. You'll see long-term persistence. You see how they worded it, Misfit? Misfit said, I still want permanent. You're not going to see permanent persistence till the game's done and released. You'll see long-term persistence. You see how they worded that, Misfit? Zero X says he's going to work for food. All right, let's get back to the poll. You guys are great, by the way. Thank you for joining me here on the stream. Don't forget, if you're digging the DG in the morning, it's a podcast. I'm going to do it like Tuesdays and Thursdays. If your guys are, I've been doing it actually on Twitch before I got banned. If you guys are digging the DG in the morning, where we talk about like a lot of different topics, please push the like button. Get our community out there. Great people here. Super appreciate you guys because I want to literally smash this algorithm to the ground. I want to take it down. I want to take it down and be like, boom, sky's the limit. Don't get in our way, algorithm. Don't get in our way. How dare you get in our way, algorithm? How dare you? By the way, I want to do another podcast coming up very soon. I want to schedule it with ERAD. I want to talk to ERAD about where we're seeing Star Citizen going in 2020 together as two content creators. In the future, I also want to get on Seer. And I also want to get on Execute from Info Runners. Thank you. Sorry, I got so much in my head right now. So let's get back to the poll here. Proud sub here, bro. Wish I wasn't broke and I could actually back you up. Oh, well, that's nice, dude. That's nice. Thank you, Crazy for Hire. Thank you, dude. That's nice, you man. Don't worry about it. Just by commenting and sharing, that's all you have to do. But I do appreciate those that try and help out the channel financially. But do whatever you guys can do to help us. That's awesome. Thank you. James Work says, I am a subscriber because I am interested in all facets of the game and I will help it in a small way to grow. Good. Maxcore says, the year subscription, I got my discount and the rewards started getting easy and cheap. So I saw no purpose in further subscription. Okay. Tom Cooper says the benefits of my subscription do not equal the support I send each month. However, subscribing is how I choose to support development of unlimited virtual universe. I want to be part of the game that forever changes the standards games are measured by. Yeah, dude, we've talked about that. Like, really, if Star Citizen comes to fruition and this is funded to the point where there's enough money to support the continued growth of Cloud Imperium and to get over these tech hurdles that are concerning to me, like server meshing being the biggest one that's most concerning to me. If these hurdles can be jumped over and we can accomplish these things, then yes. And not only will it be like a revolutionary for the game itself, just to have a game that's limitless and essentially no server caps and all experiencing the same thing, which would be fantastic, but also in the way in which games are funded. More so interested really in the limitless experience of the game because I'm a gamer at heart, but on the business side of things, to see that the game itself will lend itself to having an effect on the gaming industry and how games are funded. I think that's huge. I think that's huge. So I agree with Tom on that one. Scott Johnson. I subscribe with no illusion that this project is going to take time. Maybe I understand the complexity of trying to fit an infinite universe into. Yeah, dude. I also believe in the project so much so that I don't want them to worry about money or time. By the way, what is it? I can't think of the name of the content creator. Was it Digital Foundry? Is that the name of them? Did a great piece about the scale of Star Citizen a couple days ago. Highly recommend watching that video. And I think that that video highlights some of the tech and the reasons why I'm very interested in Star Citizen. So I believe it's Digital Foundry. By the way, if you're watching in chat, just let me know if I'm correct or not on that content creator. And the content they created about the scope, and they show a lot about object container streaming, and they show about how these large stations and these planets literally have their own box, like one box, and then there are boxes inside of boxes. That's kind of how OCS works. And the chat is saying yes, in fact, that is the name. So that's good. So plug to Digital Foundry. Really, really interesting video. I think we even have that linked up in our Discord. I really enjoyed that. They make great content. They really do. All right. Let's see here. Prince Sean. I am subscribed to the Imperator plan because I believe in the project, and while I can't afford to buy ships every month to support its development, I can spare an extra 20. So he's doing it in stages. So Prince is doing it in stages. While another member of our community was saying, I'd rather buy it for my fleet. I'd rather support him for my fleet. So there's a lot of different ways to support Cloud Imperium. I really am interested, though, if that money just goes all to content creation. I still think, and I've thought from the very beginning, that money just does not go to only content creation. That's my opinion. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's just how business operates, you know. Joey Ludlam, I am a $10 sub. I don't remember the name of that. That is called the Imperator, and I'm a $10 sub. What the hell? I'm having a brain fart. You can tell I am sick today. Please, somebody tell me in chat what the $10 sub is. For God's sake. I'm tired. Is it time to stop the stream yet? There are so many comments here. There are so many comments here, man. I'm going over all these comments and I'm just like, I'm starting to get like weighed down. Maybe I should just stop this video. I can't take it anymore. No, just teasing, guys. Just teasing. Let's keep going. Let's see. It supports the game dev and I get a perk in return. Okay. Yes, you get perks. That's cool. I became a subscriber for one month to check out the stuff you have access to. It has cool to check it out and got some free helmets with it, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's come on. You guys are great. Thank you for commenting. I'm not just trying to blow past you guys, but we do have like, apparently like there's no end to the comments here. Wait, I'm just curious. I want to go down. I just want to see how many more we have. Oh my God, you guys came out in force. Look at you guys. Look at you guys coming out in force. This is like, look at you guys. What is going on here? I think wow. I think it's happened, everybody. I think the momentum is real. I think that DG360 is blowing up. I think the DG360 is literally blowing up. How am I going to handle this now? How am I going to handle this? I want to get to every single comment, but I think that's getting a little long in the tooth. And Centurion, thank you guys. I'm reading the chat. They're like Centurion. Thank you. $10. I am a Centurion. I should actually upgrade myself, especially coming up here as we have the Carrack being available. I should probably upgrade myself, but Jesus, I'm so broke right now. Every dollar counts for me. T-Love says he just melted his ships and kept getting better packages. Just kept trading up. So yeah, anyway, I do want to, oh God. All right. Let's keep going. You guys took the time to comment on this and I want to take the time to read your comments on this. Okay, let's go back up to, let's try and speed through the, holy goodness. Look how awesome. Look at all this. Oh my goodness, look at all this. We got some VIP members commenting on here. Oh my goodness, you guys came out in force on this. I'm so happy that you did. Look, there's Erad. I gotta get to Erads. I gotta get to some of these guys. Oh yeah, I probably am. Jay's right. Jay in our chat's like, dude, you're gonna probably have to pre-select the hard-hitting responses. You're absolutely right. I don't want to be like, here's the thing though, I don't want to be how they work it on the content coming from Cloud Imperium, where they're only reading like the top voted stuff. You know, I don't want to be that guy. I really don't want to be the guy where it's like, I'm only going to read the top 10 voted comments. Like, I don't want to do that because there's plenty good comments that don't get voted up. Plus, I've seen people play that game before where they're like, okay, vote up my stuff, you know, and I get that. That's playing the game, right? Like, vote up mine, and everybody in the organization votes up that, and, you know, it gets hundreds of votes ups. And then, like, you know, then the people that are responsible for reading out the content only focus on the ones that got voted up the most. I don't want to be that type of dude. Like, there's a lot of voices in here that don't have upvotes that I think deserve upvotes. You know what I'm saying? I think we are right around Ricochet here. I'm going to go a little faster here. Sorry, guys. But in my opinion, it's got the point where as long as people keep throwing money at SC, the longer they will take to finish the game. Oh, wow. Now that's a good... Okay. Thank God for Ricochet talking about something that I can talk about here. This is interesting. There are no deadlines based on a finite budget. It's just a business as usual, prolonging the development cycle for as long as they can. And in a year, they'll see. So this is a great discussion here. Do we think that because of the type of project that this is, and the fact that this is a new version of supporting or funding a game, do we think because of the very method in which this game is being funded, that it is essentially a symptom of a problem that may compound upon itself by continually giving someone money and thus making the project longer? Personally, I don't see it that way, Rick, because if they're being very transparent. Here's the thing. If Cloud Imperium was not transparent, then yes, I would completely agree with you, Rick. But the thing is that they show us what's going on. They show us the financials. They show us the progress. They show us the delays. You know, they're very honest with us about what's going on. So I'm not quite sure I agree with you on that, Rick, but I get where you're coming from. Grib says, I've been subscribing for quite a long time. I really want this project to succeed, and all the video content sometimes sucks. I really have enjoyed watching all of it through the years. Wingman's Hangar. How many of you guys missed that? I miss Wingman's Hangar. Around the Verse, Bug Smashers, Meet the Devs, Inside Star Citizen Live, all of it is really the main reason I follow this project. I miss Bug Smashers too. Gosh damn Crytek. Gordon says, although I only subscribe when there is something happening in the PTU, I mainly do it so it is not automatic. I may go 2 months without subscribing, but like when 3.9 hits the PTU, you can count on it that I will be subscribing to get in on the action as early as possible. Yeah, I mean, like you get a slight little break there where you can get in and experience things other people can't. And as a content creator, I find that invaluable myself. Lehman, what's going on? Hey man, haven't I seen you in ages, dude. I subscribe for PTU access, especially when I can access ships I otherwise could not. I don't sub to be entertained by weekly videos, but are a bonus for me. I am not a subscriber because in December 2018, I broke my back. Oh, Jesus, 3. Oh my goodness, Jesus. See, this is why we got to keep reading these comments. It does get interesting here. We get to learn about people. Like, we get to learn about people. And 3, dude, I'm so sorry. Back, that is like the worst problem to have. Like anything involving the back, dude, I feel for you already. My final operation on August 29th has me walking again, but I'm still recovering. Still legally disabled and not back to work yet. $120 per year doesn't sound a lot, but it is for me. I know, dude. I'm in that boat. I'm in that boat right now, dude. I'm in that boat with insurance and mom's medicines. I get you, dude. I totally get you. I'm broke like every day. Every morning I wake up, I'm broke. And you know what? It's just a state of mind. Try and release yourself of that negativity, dude. Breathe and enjoy the fact that you're living and just enjoy it. Just enjoy living, dude. That's my advice. That's how I get through the days when Devin and I are eating grilled cheese sandwiches and wondering like how steak would taste. Now that our grill is gone, that dream is farther out. Grilled cheese sandwiches for life. I've already pledged a total of $730 a SIG, way more than any other software company has ever received from me. Yeah, dude, you've done what you can. You've done what you can, 3, and please get better, dude. Precision says I'm not and by the way, I'm gonna just heart that because I want you to be in a good place, dude. Precision says I'm not subscribed. It's very simple for me. I'm a little over 2K US into the game, and to me, faith in Sid, Chris, Robertson, the game is dwindling fast. Roadmap is not reliable. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the roadmap. How many of you guys in the chat right now are upset by what you're seeing from Cloud Imperium when it comes to the roadmap? Let us in the chat right now, and those that are watching this as a highlight, if you are upset and have gotten to this point in the video or are still here on stream with me, if you are upset about this, press 1. If you are not, press 2. These roadmap revisions that we are seeing, it's a little concerning to me. So 1, if you're not concerned. 2, if you are. Or wait, did I reverse that? Wait, let's oh God. You know it's been too long for me. Just rewind what I said and then do it. Okay? Thank you. Oh. This is what you see. You're seeing a man breaking down on stream live, ladies and gentlemen. So he's upset. He's upset at the roadmap changes, and you know what? I have to say I am as well. TK says, okay, lots of reasons is why I do subscribe. First, I believe the game should have a subscription service when the game is released. Wow, TK is saying, hey, I don't know if I'd be cool with that. It sounds like a Plex system with Eve. It's kind of what that sounds like right now. In the chat, we have a 1.5. Oh, J-Dubs, thanks for that, dude. J-Dubs is helping me out with the grill fund. Thanks, dude. You guys are helping me out. You guys are like trying to pep me up right now. Thanks, everybody. People live on stream with me are realizing that I'm starting to break apart, that I am sick today, and they're helping me by throwing cash on me. Thank you so much. So funny. Demo says, I think this is how Jared broke too. Ted says, I ignore the roadmap so I don't get upset. Unfortunately, I can't, Ted. Like, as a content creator, I really am focused on the roadmap and what they put down there. And, you know, the roadmap to me should be like set in stone. Like, you know, like I get that there's going to be revisions, but I really think they need to plan ahead and think much more deeply in regards to, thank you, Wind. Thank you, Wind. Thank you, guys are like, thank you. I feel the power. I'm feeling the power. But like, I think they should think deeper in terms of what they're going to put on the roadmap. What's ahead for the roadmap? Yes, power incoming. I'm almost over 9,000. At this rate, I might be able to afford another grill. Thank you, guys. Oh shoot. All right. So TK says he thinks they should have a subscription. What do you guys think about that? Like I would understand why they would, but I don't think they're going to do that. I'm pretty sure they're not going to do a subscription based model. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with ship sales after the game is released. Chris has said and stated that they will not have ship sales after the game has been released, but you know, I don't know. Ship sales are the primary source of revenue on how the game has been funded thus far, over 250 million. So personally, when I'm looking at it like this, I'm thinking to myself like, like you really need those ship sales. You know, I'm also really curious to see how ship sales are being affected from this point forward in 2020, now that you can also buy ships in game with creds, and also with the renting of the ships is also great as well. So how is that affecting ship sales going forward? 2019 had amazing revenues. 2019 best year yet with the revenues. Now I'm curious to see what the 2019 numbers are going to be when they're reported in 2020 to see if they've kept their expenses in check. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. Total inside look on the numbers in 2019. Very interesting to me. Hopefully they show profit. I've talked about that in the past, why I think it's important that they do. Cyrus says, never sub. The perks of being a subscriber have been quite disappointing and to not justify the price. Oh my goodness. Hacks, thank you so much, man. By the way, everybody who's donated, thank you so much. That means so much to me, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much, Hacks. The recent content of ISC and SC Live have been lacking and leave me wondering why they aren't showing more. I agree. This again, we talked about this at the very beginning of the video. As a sub, I would expect good content and perks. Right now, both are not being delivered to the point of justifying giving them my money. If they want my sub, they need to step up their game. Ooh, he's getting serious business, Cyru is, and not spend an hour on bobbleheads. Man, you just got a heart for me, Cyru, and I think we're going to see a better Inside Star Citizen tonight. I'm really looking forward to watching that with you guys. Hopefully, I'm not completely sick by then. I'm already feeling congested in the throat. It's starting to build up. Devin got me sick, most likely. You know, this is the thing. When you go to the doctors and your son's sick and you're trying to figure out what it is, generally speaking, when you go there, you're going to come back with even more viruses than when you left. And I feel like now I'm completely sick. He's upstairs. I can hear him right now walking around, and he probably is getting a little hungry. So let us get through. We have another poll after this. We have another video after this. Let's get going. My fans are powering me up. The energy is flowing through me. Jason says, having a subscription service this early in the game's development is possibly why the extreme skeptics are raising pitchforks. I see no real value except for being the SIG employee welfare system. Anonymous Rich says, I like to support the game and the content that's put out. I love the perks we get. I don't see it as anything different from supporting a YouTuber as a Patreon. I don't either. I agree with that, Rich. And, you know, that's what I was saying, again, at the very beginning of this is like, I really understand the subscription-based service that they have. I just think that we got to look at the quality of what it is that they're putting out. Killian, who's here live on stream with us as well, says, I think subscribers don't get the credit they deserve, both from SIG and the Not Subs. That sounds like a great band name, by the way, the Not Subs. I got to write that down. Like myself, even if content crashed lately, I get to watch stuff other people pay for. So thanks to all you guys and gals for that. Also, from what I hear, subscriber exclusive content needs to be much higher. There's not enough payoff for these people. On the other hand, I'm pretty sure that SIG would put out content even if there were no subs at all. Because of the funding nature of this project, I believe so as well. Backers can't be ignored in a crowdfunded game, and I'd be fine with a 90-minute juicy pack show per month. Last time I thought of subscribing, it was $5 a month. We're talking about that $5 a month. Do you think that they should have like another tranche, like a $5 a month kind of payment? Oh my goodness, Jay. Oh my God, you guys look at you guys trying to get the energy back into me. The donations are coming in. Thank you. I'm feeling the power. Yes, thank you so much, T, for that. Thank you. Oh my goodness, Cypher just put down a pretty big one too. Cypher, thank you so much, guys. God bless. God bless. You guys are putting it down. Thank you. Yeah, I could almost take Devin out. Maybe, no, you know what I need to do? I do need to save it. I do need to save it for the grill. You're absolutely right. Grill fun, dude. Grill fun. There's so many things. Okay, I don't even want to get into it. I don't want to get into the money. I don't want to get into the money. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Ted. By the way, Cypher put down 10 pounds. I want to thank Cypher. His alert for some reason didn't show up. Maybe it's delayed. There it is. Thank you, Ted. Also, you guys, look at you guys throwing down like bosses. You guys are bosses today. You guys are bosses today. Thank you so much. So last time, okay, yeah. So I'm hearting that from my friend there, Killian. Thank you, Killian, for that. Hacks. I'm not a subscriber, but I do have a marketing background. Hacks actually donated today. Thank you so much, Hacks. To me, it kind of boggles my mind how bad of a state their video content is in. Dude, me too. Like the first of the year really just like it was very hard to be positive up until the point when then long-term persistence came in. Like I put that video out and I was like so happy to see that long-term persistence come out because I was like, thank God, like positivity. Inside SC isn't bad but by any means, but the content lately has been pretty bad. I would agree, man. I feel that with the money they are taking in from subscriptions, millions of dollars, I think we figured it up What do we do? I think it was 3 million a year. We did the math on this. Again, it was speculative, but I think we said 3 million is what they brought in from subscriptions a year. I can't remember what video that was, but we went over that based upon some numbers that were posted anonymously. But yeah, you know, so that's neither here nor there. But anyway, they have the opportunity to make some awesome content that gives us a look into the game development process and the studio. Things people have never really seen, as game development in general is very closed off. Some examples of what they could do. SIG studio tour. Yes. Like, go through the studios again, like slowly, professionally show them. I think they got a little bit of that on the channel hacks. I think they do. But like anytime they're showing off like the professionalism of the actual space, and they try to do that from time to time on episodes, so I will give them props for that. Profiles on the developers of SC, yeah, and they should get a little bit more in depth with the employees that decide that they want to be public, and they want to. And I give a lot of credit to the employees that want to get out there on the camera and are put up there for everyone to see. It's not easy. Like, on the other side of the spectrum, that would not be easy. You know, me being a content creator and always looking and focusing on what I'm seeing versus being on the other end of that scrutiny, that would be very difficult. So I do give props to the employees that have the cojones to sit there and take all of that criticism. And what, I don't know what, I switched from Spanish to Russian at the end. And what they do, thank you, Dubs. Dubs, what are you doing, bro? I think Dubs just bought our grill for us. Thank you, Dubs. I think, like, if I do get another grill, I'm going to have to chain it on the outside so it doesn't get stolen again. Thank you, Jay. Jeez, man. Throwing down that 50. Thank you so much, guys. Every one of you, every single one of you that donated today. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay. Like that one got me. I was like, that was like a strong cup of Java. In addition, they can also bring back bug smashers. Yes, I understand that this takes away from the development time, but besides taking devs away from maximum of an hour or so, how much development time does it really take away? I don't think it takes away too much. I really don't. Sixth primary business model is crowdfunding by selling ships, so allowing devs to take an hour out of their day on occasion for content should simply be considered an expense that comes along with their business model. Boom, dude. Boom. Absolutely, man. Jay, again, thank you, man. That was awesome. Thank you, man. By the way, I need to get with you. You're awesome. In Discord, I'm going to have a talk with you, sir. Don't worry, it'll be a positive one. That sounded kind of name. I'm going to have a talk with you, sir. No, thank you. Buck says, not anymore. I can't get this blank for free. Did I just censor myself like China? What's wrong with me? Sao Seolyan. I was a sub for 3 years and about 15 months ago for obvious reasons. Jared needs to move on or over. He's out of ideas and in over his head. They need a professional now. Wow. So that's that's right at Jared's face. Wow, Jared. Did you hear that? Xiao says, hey, he's putting an end to Jared. Wow. Xiao. Whew. Some heat being thrown over at Jared. Black Sheep Boys. I was subscribing to support the project, then for the perks. Now it's all gone and I feel insulted with what I am getting now. I no longer support a project that treats me this way. I have a president that already does that, so like, that was total rim shot right there, man. Jeff Stukas. I sent for about 2 years, then stopped. I stopped because I wanted to free up the monies for something else. Besides, the in-game rewards were kind of meh. Not to mention people can buy them in shop anyway, so the items are not sub-exclusive. I think it's nice that they actually take the time to make these types of perks for us. I mean, but yeah, I get it, man. Victor says, I almost became a subscriber after the derelict interest in living Idris ATV, but I wasn't financially independent at the time. Now they lost any chance of getting my subscription. Wow. Well, E-Rad, we got to you, bro. E-Rad says, I'm not a subscriber and I'm glad I'm not because the community content has been a joke for quite some time and the Bobble Flop proves it. Woof. I wonder what E-Rad's opinion is now that long-term persistence is out. Like, does he view that as like more like positive? I view it as a step in the right direction. You know, like they definitely need to change gears. This 2020 started out as a mess in terms of content and also with the revisions to the map. So I get exactly. I can't wait. I really want to take some time to talk to E-Rad about our outlooks on 2020 for Star Citizen in my podcast. So the podcast is for $5 members on YouTube and for $5 Patreon members and up on my Patreon page. And I did release one episode last month and I will release another episode this month as well. We're almost at our second goal. So once we hit that, I'll really focus on making 2 a month because it does take a lot of time out of my day. But I really want to talk to E-Rad what we think about 2020 in terms of Star Citizen. One of the questions I want to ask him is about Pyro, and also what he thinks of Cloud Imperium as a whole and staggered development. I think staggered development is a great talk to have. Like, do we think staggered development's working at this point? Personally, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it for the podcast because I really think it's something that E-Rad and I can. And I love talking to E-Rad. Sometimes we agree with one another, sometimes we disagree with one another, but I think that's the dynamic between E-Rad and I. Like, we're very respectful with one another. He's a good friend of mine, and I really love having these talks with him. We have different points of views on certain things, on some things we agree on, and I like that. We're not cookie cut. Like, you know, E-Rad and I don't always agree. We don't always see eye to eye, but we always have reasons backing up, you know, our opinions, and they generally make for great listening. Let's see what else we got here. Christopher Paget says, and E-Rad gets a star or a star. E-Rad, you get a star. E-Rad gets a heart because he's awesome and I love him. Christopher Paget says, I would love to, but I see no, I would love to, but I see no point at the moment. SIG does not need to switch gears from ship sales to subscriptions if they care about the future of the company. They have said that once the game goes live, that IRL ship sales will stop. However, their current business model shows that this will be the end of SIG. In all MMOs, there needs to be a reason to be a subscriber. You know, yes, there needs to be a reason to be a subscriber. And if people are not happy with the content, absolutely. And lately, I don't think they have been. So, and I would like them to get as much subscriber money as they possibly can, as we want this game to become a reality. Also, quality of content as well should go up the more subscribers there are, whether it be some small perk or a monthly stipend of in-game currency. Only 3.2 million in subs for 2018. Boom. Christopher Paget's been watching the channel. There's the figure. That's actually the figure. Congratulations, Christopher Paget, for watching this channel. And maybe you didn't watch the channel and get this information here, but that information, I believe we were the first to post something along the lines of that. That's an average of 215,000 backers out of the 2.5 million boosted on the RSI site. Wow, look at him with the numbers. You know I like numbers. Numbers are sexy. Christopher, you're turning me on. You stop it right now, Christopher. You stop it with those sexy numbers. If SIG is able to get all backers to be a subscriber, Centurion or Imperator, the amount of revenue would match that of 2018 pledges. In my opinion, tweaking the insurance and ship rentals a little to provide packages for subscribers that can also be purchased in-game would give most of the backers a reason to subscribe. This would also allow the... Man. Christopher's got ideas. Get Christopher hired over there. Christopher's got ideas, Cloud Imperium. You hear me? Christopher's got good ideas. John Noonham. John Noonham. Hello, Mr. Noonham. Well, the content that they have now, I would only estimate it at $5 a month at best. Then we get back to this $5 subscription fee. Maybe they should really focus on $5 subscription plan. But would they call it what would they call it? Like, what would the $5? Not sure. It says get a room. Oh, that's so funny. All right, ANAC, let's see what you have to say, dude. Where's ANAC at? Why am I not? Hey, Grant Welcome to the stream, man. Good to see you. Anax says, I subscribe for all the extra perks like ships to test, extra hanger items, access to the subscriber section, etc., but only on the lower tier, which works out around 18 AUD. That's Australian, I believe. But have only done so far just over a year. Oh my gosh, I forgot Anax is he from New Zealand? I think he's from New Zealand. I also subscribe to DJ for all the perks, but please stop sending your used underwear in the post. I'm pretty sure that wasn't listed as a perk on Patreon. Sorry, that was my Aussie accent. I used to know this girl. Her name was Lisa. I had a vlog channel, and Lisa came to visit. She was a little firecracker, and I may release that. Lisa was great. We had a good time. Dark Pit. I don't subscribe because I don't want my life to fund what. Wait. I don't subscribe because I don't want my wife to fund what kinky hobby I have. That's funny. Patrick Larson says, I previously was a subscriber, the $10 for a year and $20 for a few months. I stopped playing Arena Commander, so no longer needed the rec and didn't feel like I was receiving enough to continue the subscription that it could be put towards ships, which I also did not do because I quit playing for a few years. I'm playing now as of 3.8. A lot of people came back in 3.8. With, FPS mining. The 3.8 was pretty big for the game. 3.8 was pretty big for the game. Thank you, Ted. Ted says they can license out SSOCS server meshing for money. Yeah, like absolutely. Ted in the chat just donated. Thank you so much. Thank you. And Ted's saying, we talked about this in prior videos as well, Ted, where, the tech that Cloud Imperium, Chris is working on now, they will be able to license out and make money and revenue from that as well, which could be huge, maybe even bigger than ship sales. Thank you, Ted, for that $2. Great way to stand out in the crowd so that I can see that. like a lot of times there's so much chat sometimes that like I look over there and unfortunately sometimes the only thing I'm reading is super chat. Let me see. Jay says SSOCS doesn't work there. Are far lesser games. Oh, I'm getting a call here. I'm sorry, mother. I'm in a stream and I can't talk to you right now. I feel horrible. I feel horrible what I just did to my mother. Maybe wait, hold on. This is terrible. Hey mom, what's up? Oh, he's still feeling a little bit he's still feeling kind of sick, so I I called him off today and I got some ginger ale in him this morning. I'm going to be making some lunch for him in a little bit. He's just not able to eat a lot. And, so I'm probably going to do some soup too, something. Last night he did eat, he had a grilled cheese. And, yeah. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to. Yeah. I'm going to do that. Yeah, that'll definitely be the next thing I got to worry about because I'll have 5 days worth of homework, so yeah, I'll figure that out. I know your grandma and a mom. All right. I love you. Okay, mom. All right, bye-bye. She's great. I thought, for those of you who don't know, she was in the hospital for 5 months at the beginning of this year, and I thought she was going to die. My sister flew in from DC every weekend, and I was there at the hospital with her for 12 hours out of the day for 5 months. It was crazy. Those hardcore members, those are old school members that have been with me long enough, know everything I went through. I didn't post content for a good 5 months, and I'll let her know. Sorry, guys. I should have told her you guys said hi. She loves you guys. I talk about you guys all the time. And it's great because when I see that alert and I see mom walking around and hands up and stuff and she's alive, she's the only one I have left. Everybody else is dead in my family. My kids, myself, and my mother. Everybody else has died. That's how crazy my life has been. It's just been I know the Grim Reaper pretty well. Yeah. Death is definitely hanging around our corner. And I tell him all the time, I'm like, dude, just it's not that great around here. Just kind of go up a block or two. I'm sure it's much cooler up there than it is here. Not much to see here anymore. You did your job. Time to move on. You know what I mean? So anyway, I put my heart and soul into making sure my mom was gonna make it, man. Like I literally aged quite a few years these past 4 or 5 months that I was doing that, and now she's in better shape, and thanks to your guys' help and support as well. So I want to tell you guys, thank you so much. OX says stay away from China, Mom. If you're out there, Mom, if you're watching right now, sometimes she watches, Mom. OX says stay away from China. Like, please, Mom, don't get the coronavirus. Like, we talked about that at the very beginning of the stream. Please, Mom, just avoid it. Like, no more. No whammies, no whammies. No whammies. Oh my God, it's Valentine's Day. I'm looking at Killian. He's pledging $2. Killian, thank you, dude. Thank you. And I'm realizing, oh man, I'm like, Valentine's Day is coming around the corner. Oh, Christy. Woo, you guys saved me. Oh, you guys saved me. I would have forgot about Valentine's Day. It's just Devin and I living here. We're batching it up. Thank you, Killian. Killian's donation says Mom Flowers Fund. And I'm thinking, oh no, I forgot about Valentine's Day. I'm like, did I forget it? And I'm looking at it. It's tomorrow. So here's a note to everybody watching the stream. I know we're getting off topic here. Sometimes this happens on stream. I just want you guys to know tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Maybe if this highlights out tomorrow and not today, I apologize. Please look at your date. 2/14 is Valentine's Day. Don't forget flowers for your mother, flowers for your girlfriend, flowers for your wife. Do something special. Doesn't have to be flowers either. Could be anything from the heart. You know, maybe just go to her work. You know. Now, personally, I'm not going to do that because Christy lives 45 minutes away from me. And, you know, sorry, Christy, I love you to death, but I make that drive every single weekend. And, you know, it's a Friday, so I'll be seeing you anyway. And I'll probably be picking up from work Friday as well. Look at me trying to figure this out. Jay, thank you. Jay's giving some flowers to Mother. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. Yes, we can't forget about the flower fund. Oh, man, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I would have been in some serious trouble. I would have gone all day, forgot about it. Tomorrow, my ass would have been grass, and that would have been just so bad. So bad. And Jay says, I am my wife's Valentine gift. By the way, Jay was on our last podcast, our only podcast right now, but there will be more. And Jay was an absolute hilarious, fun dude to talk to. Jay and I are going to come up with a line of belts on our DG merch store. So anyway, that inside joke. All right. So let's go to the next one. This is fun. I'm having a good time. I'm actually having a good time chilling. This is the type of content where you can just like, oh my gosh, look at that 10 cent. 10 cents. I feel like that there's a circle on that tab. There is a circle on this tab every once in a while. Have you guys noticed that? Up at the top there? Every once in a while, something's loading in. I feel like I'm getting a virus over from China or from Taiwan there. We're going to X that out. I don't like what's happening on that tab. I don't like what's happening on that tab, Taiwan News. Trying to sneak over something. Give me coronavirus in my computer. Alpha Maverick Gaming says, I'm a subscriber because Star Citizen is a game that I want to fully support. That being said, some recent displays by SIG have shaken my confidence in their ability to keep their word. I'm still going to remain subscribed, but not because of blind faith, but because of the past. Is any indication, I believe that SIG can learn from their mistakes and regain trust from the backers. That is pretty much where at this point in this project, I'm still very positive, still a backer. The beginning of this year has been like, not the best, but hey, I'm with you. I'm with you, Alpha. Shalafire, what's going on? Nice new logo right there. Nice new portrait you got. No, I'm not. To put it plain and straight, I pay subscriptions for a monthly service, and Star Citizen is in the service. I've spent $200 on the game, which I'm comfortable with. Now, Chevy's smart. He's only spent what he's willing to afford to lose if, in fact, this doesn't get put out there as a project. And that's what I tell people all the time. Put out what you can afford. Don't spend any more than you can afford. Daniel Sousa, what's going on, bro? I'm not a subscriber and I don't plan on being one. First of all, the video content being produced is not worth the money spent, especially for the past month. Absolutely. I would be pissed if I was a subscriber and received the amount and quality of content being put out. Bobbleheads, come on. Second of all, Daniel is not done yet. Second of all, the subscriber flare you get is not worth it. T-shirts and knives, really? No, ladies and gentlemen, no more money for me until I see tangible results. See, this is what I'm getting at. Quality of content and showing us how you're attacking the problems. This is something I talked about on the Pillar Talk live stream that we had, where we were saying the content that we would like to see, at least this is my opinion, I think you guys would agree, most of you would agree with this, is subscribers or not subscribers, just people following the project, is clearly stating the problems that are in the way right now. Telling us both internally why it's an issue with the business and the employees there that are working on those problems, and telling us how you're going to fix it or approaching it or attacking it. I want to see some type of content that is very clear cut, very to the point. So Daniel, thank you, because your comment made me reiterate that a little bit more succinctly to the audience watching today. Chris Erickson says, I just don't see the benefit to me for being a subscriber. I'd rather take the exact same amount of money and apply it to a ship. Either way, Sig gets the money. These videos cost far less than income in the videos bring in. I don't feel I need to contribute to that. All right. Jason Martin says, to support the development and developers, I'm proud to be a subscriber and see this dream coming together a little at a time. You can see such a wide array like of backers and not backers and opinions as to why. And I find this completely fascinating. Anarchy Burger says, I'm not sure if paying up to $20 is worth my while, considering the thousands I've already invested just to get some sneak peeks and small perks. And again, the amount that you have put in is relative to your emotional investment to the project. The more results, the more the timeline then shrinks where you want those instant results because you put that money in. And by the way, Anarchy is responsible for helping me with the newest intros. Thank you so much, Anarchy, for helping me with the intros. Awesome, dude. If you need an intro, go check them out. Danny Astu, I usually don't pay for things I don't know how they are. The unique exception is movies in theaters. All right. Jeff Worthen says, I am a subscriber to support the game. I stopped my WoW subscription after 14 years. They lost touch with player base. Yes, the old kind of disconnection Blizzard had to its WoW original vanilla audience. We saw WoW come back as vanilla officially. Like, you know, this is the thing. You have to listen to your fan base. This is why I'm glad that long-term persistence is here in the 3.8.2 PTU. It means that somebody out there is listening. I'm honestly, I want to support the game. I understand the balance can be hard between giving users info they want and not spoil upcoming patches too much. I'm honestly only still subscribed because I'm 2 months away from my discount coupon. Wow. Roguecraft says, I'm a $20 a month subscriber simply because I want to support the game. Yeah, what is the discount coupon? Don't they have like some type of discount you can get after a certain amount of time? I think I received mine because I've been subscribed for about a year and a half or so. I think I received, it wasn't anything big. I think the one I got was like 5%. But it increases, I think, the longer you're subscribed. Roguecraft, I'm a $20 a month subscriber simply because I want to support the game. Zen Air Zulu says, I'm a long-time watcher of SC, not a player. Still need to get to my PC first. I might pay for a ship, but not for news. Pay to win. First pay to be less entertained. David Graham says, look, I had my rant on the subscription forum and the concierge forum about this, but I'll say it again. SIG's billing and inventory system is frustrating to say the least. Build, but no items, or wreck. Build, but then only half the items and no wreck. Then getting the transaction canceled and SIG just dropping you from subscription with the items still in inventory. It's a cluster bomb. I voted not a subscriber because technically, even though I try, I still don't really qualify now, do I? Wow. So David has had some issues. How many of you guys had issues? I haven't had too many issues. One time the flare items were not delivered correctly, but I got a pretty fairly fast response. You know, so I don't know if that's a normal thing. David's not too happy, and I wouldn't be either if that was the case. David Forrester, I was at some point for a couple months, nowhere near enough value to justify the cost. I stopped subscribing when 10 for the chairman stopped. Oh yeah, bring back more Chris, man. Like isn't that the secret recipe right there? Isn't it? I mean, isn't more Chris pretty much everybody what everybody wants to see? I think when Chris puts himself out there, he feels like his neck's on a chopping block sometimes, and that's why we don't see him a lot. Is because, you know, it puts him up there as a target for others to kind of like go after, and you know, whether that's fair or not is not the point I'm trying to make. What I'm trying to make is that perhaps the amount of criticism that he gets when he shows up live is the reason why we don't see him. We haven't even seen Sandy. We haven't even seen Sandy in 2019 that I know of. OX says, what GPU are you running in SC? I got myself the 1080. So I'm running a 1080 right now. And I have 64 gigs of RAM. It's total over. It's ridiculous. But I have a pretty nice PC. And it's one of the only nice things that I do have. One of my fans just went out. So I have to look into that to replace a fan, which isn't much. I think they're like $1 or $2. I got to buy on Amazon and replace one of the fans. It's actually both. It's liquid cooled and fan. I used to build computers back in the day, and I could talk about computers all day long, man, and the hardware. I'm a hardware guy. When it comes to like hardware and building PCs, I love it. But when it comes to like software and all the technical mumbo jumbo, I am total technical difficulty mode. Total technical difficulty mode, man. So here we see, I mean, like, this is great. This is great what we're seeing here. I hope that these voices are being heard. This would be a wonderful video to send to Jared. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to be like, here, Jared, love you, dude. Here's what people are saying. Like, this is something that you don't see a lot of. I think this is productive. I think this is constructive. I subscribe. I want to do so. People blow money in stupid ways every day. Why? Because they want to do so. To each their own pleasure, says Scott, looking all chill with the sunglasses. He's like, whatever, mate. Put my money towards what I want. Hoplate, what's going on, Hoplate? My monthly sub goes to DG. Love you, dude. Thank you, Hoplate. Thank you, man. Hoplate's awesome. Hoplate helped us out with a giveaway. He donated a Knox. So really nice dude. Shauna says, I was for about a year. Doesn't explain why though. Something's happening to Sean. Zabos Production says, doesn't that look like Elon? Zabos, you look like Elon Musk, man, driving a Tesla. Project well worth my support beyond my pledged ships. Also appreciate the added information and access materials. See, I like the jump points. I do like the jump points. And I do like the content, being able to have access to that content. And that's why I'm subscribed, because there's stuff in there that make me think about the content that I'm going to focus on for you guys. And that's one of the main reasons why I am a subscriber. So what's up, Cash? Yes, I am live, bro. Welcome to the stream, man. Doing wonderful and killing it on YouTube. Killing it, buddy. Good to see you, Cash, by the way. We're having a giveaway. Pisces C8X and a Avenger Titan, I believe, or is it? I can't remember which model it is. I think it is, but you can go to my Patreon page. You can see it there. Cash is one of the guys in our community, part of the fam, who's helping us out with the giveaway by donating one of those ships. Thank you so much, Cash. Super appreciate you. Glad to have you on stream live, man. We're talking about subscribers and not subscribers. And we've been talking about it for a long time, and we've been having a really good time chilling here, talking about reasons why people are subscribed, why people aren't subscribed. It's been one crazy roller coaster. It's a crazy guy. Anyway, for the first week, ship of the month loaner. As you, DG, love to see this game go according to the goals that are set, and love to be part as a backer. All right, man, cool. Vagna. Wait, is he still here? Vegna was on stream with us. Vegna usually makes almost every stream, him and Fox. I tend to sub every now and then to SC. Normally, if I see some cool sub flare items I want. That makes sense. Hopeless Omega. I used to subscribe back when they had the 2 years of subscription. You would get your name in the game somewhere. The month I had my 2 years, and then they took it away, so I took my subscription away. Hopeless wanted that notoriety. Hopeless wanted that fame. Once they took it away, he said, Skywolf says, I usually sub for Flare Like or PTU Access. I don't mind doing it just for the I don't mind doing it for just funding as a donation though, but not all the same as I don't go outside of my means and funds are tight. I get that, bro. That being said, although after today's stream, I feel a lot better. Thank you, everybody. That being said, I really miss Around the Verse's longer sections. Yeah, you know, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, I missed that too. Around the Verse were longer. They narrowed down, and then they narrowed down the Around the Verse. Remember that? I'd love to have Bug Smashers back. Oh, we would all love to have Bug Smashers back. Thanks, Crytek, for taking that away from us. As well as more appearances of CR or hell, even Sandy once in a while. By the way, I can't wait till this Crytek shit is dismissed. Maybe they can bring Bug Smashers back after the fact. I don't know. After what had happened, they're probably never going to bring Bug Smashers back. Zabula Sanguine, what's up, dude? I subscribe mainly to help pay for the video promotion of Star Citizen, not getting my money's worth at this point. Inside Star Citizen is far too short, and Star Citizen Live seems to have lost touch with the community. Looks to me like Jared is being held back. Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that earlier. We talked about that already. I don't want to repeat myself. It's getting redundant at this point. Grant Hutchinson, who is here live on stream. Not a chance. The incentives you get with subscribing aren't worth it for me. 3.8 branch is still super buggy, so why subscribe for a service I can't even use? Hopefully long-term persistence in some way helps. Talked about that earlier today. I've never heard of a monthly subscription thing. Well, okay, all right. So far. Dark Angel Gaming. We're just skipping past that. I subscribed from December 2018 to December 2019. Bought a year package deal. If I knew the dumpster fire the video Sig would put out with my money would be in that period, and the trash monthly flair was, I would have skipped it. The knife last month was the only cool one I have seen so far, but I didn't subscribe to get it. I can always buy one later once it's added to the Center Mass or something. Frankly, I have been disappointed with their offerings lately, and my wallet is tightly closed until they can truly wow me again. All right, I get you, and I respect that. Eagle 6. Eagle says, the only month I subbed was in support after the backlash after the CitizenCon charging. I was actually for paying for CitizenCon as I watched it each year and enjoyed it. The payment should have been optional, though. I don't enjoy the subscribers videos, so I don't sub simple. Yep. I am not a subscriber, but I never have been, except for 1 month because I wanted the Tears of Fire Hanger artwork. I don't remember that. Sig needs money, whether through subs or ship sales or something else, to pay wages until their games launch. The videos and web services, infomercials, and newsletters are feeding hype and sales of the game. It isn't there just to satisfy subs. It drives sales. Absolutely. They are sales drivers. Even if nobody subbed, Sig would still make videos where and how the money comes in as at the end of the day irrelevant as long as it pays the bills. Getting down to brass tacks, Wind. Yes. I decided to pay the equivalent of my old WoW subscription to Sig monthly from when I first backed in 2013, but I paid as ships and CCUs. I have never exceeded that price, $20 a month. I will continue to support them. Only Squadron 42 releases, and thereafter, in my opinion, they have to financially support themselves without gifts pay to win ship sales. This is what we were talking about and is important. How are they going to continue to bring in the revenue, or will they at that point after the game is released? That is a wonderful talking point. And we have talked about that quite often here on stream. I know the comment of pay to win will get back community backlash, but it is rename as much. Here's the thing about this pay to win thing, and I'm going to say it pretty succinctly here. So, and there's going to be people that aren't going to agree with me. You know, I think people right now are just pledging for a ship design that they like, and they're doing it. Not some people are doing it because they want the ship right away. Other people are doing it because they want to support the game. But when it comes to pay to win, to me, if in fact what Chris says rings true, once the game is released and you can buy all these ships in game with creds, I don't see the pay to win aspect to it unless you're talking about large organizations like Test, for instance, in Montoya, and what they would do is just buy a ton of a particular type of ship in their fleet, but they still need the manpower to handle it. And yes, the amount of time that it would take to fit to man a person to a bought ship ready to go versus someone in the game that's trying to earn the creds to get there is that initial unfair pay to win advantage. But eventually that blurs out. The longer the game goes out and the longer that the game is after the fact, if ship sales are in fact going to be a non-issue and they're going to stop ship sales after the game is released, as Chris has said, then I think that time dilation, the duration of time going farther out as the game is released, I think that pay to win argument starts to fade away. Personally, that's my opinion. But great comments. Glad to talk about that because I don't think we have talked about that. And that may be something I might talk about in the future. We've talked about it here in the past. A long time ago, I think my stance on pay to win is that it was pay to win. But the more I think about it and the more I think of the structure of it and the more I think about how this game's going to be released after the fact and that ship sales will and really stop if they do stop after the game is released, then like I said, the farther out you go in time, the more the pay to win issue kind of fades out. It doesn't matter anymore. That's where I'm kind of standing now on the whole pay to win issue. We can debate that all day long. Like Win says, King says, not anymore. Think the last show explained it for me. Oh, he's talking about the bobblehead debacle. Twabbles. I was a subscriber in the past a few years back, but started to get a little annoyed with the development process that was going on at the time and decided to cut it. I already gave them my money with the initial package and a purchase of a second ship. I'm happy I stopped because of how the money was being used lately. They need to start being held more accountable for their business decisions. Yep. I think they need to make slightly better content, quality content, at least at the beginning of this year. So yes, I am agreeing. Right now. I try to support the game in a way it won't ruin my gaming experience when the game is released. Although I have quite a few ships I'd rather grind and game for them. So subscription, cosmetic items, and merchandise is what I try to prioritize to support the game development. I only buy ships now given the inability to progress in the game and resets, so I have some activities to do in the meantime. He said mealtime, which is really funny because that would mean why he's eating, and I think he meant meantime. But I'm just imagining now him sitting there, Federico, eating like a cheesesteak, and he's doing it while eating a cheesesteak. So that's why, spelling's really important. Sorry, I'm not trying to be a grammar Nazi or a spelling Nazi, dude. Commandmon James. I was a subscriber for 2 years, but now I'm not. I want to continue to support the project after my ship purchases. Even the in-game flair, I couldn't justify expense, so I stopped. Okay. Solara, how are you doing, Solara? So good to see you. She says, with the way things are going, I can't help but be both of those things throughout the year. So Solara is saying, like, I'm subscribed sometimes, I'm not subscribed at other times. I get it. I am sub and I've been subscriber since 2013. I boycotted SIG a month in October, says BDH. That's interesting that he chose October because that was CitizenCon month. And I really thought CitizenCon was good this year. Thomas Wells says, I am a subscriber to help this game come out. If this game can come out as promised, it will change the gaming world. Yes, we talked about that. So we're seeing, oh my God, everybody. Wow, we made it. We made it. In the future, what I'm going to do is I am going to review these ones that have amazing turnouts. This was 80 plus comments, and wow, we are finally seeing the light at the end of this tunnel. And for those people that have sat here and listened to all of this, dudes, you are the hardcore fans. You guys that sat here and listened to all of the comments that you care. God bless you. You care. Let's hear what Robert Carling has to say. Hey, Robert, I sub because I want the information SIG should provide. Yes. There's some usable in-game flair, like weapons and armor. With the continued reset, it's nice to have at the start and have your start money for trading and upgrades. Yes. She says, I'm not one because I didn't know of such a thing. So he didn't even know you could subscribe. So maybe this video helped him out. I bought starter package Alpha and Squadron 42 at $60. I don't think I will pay for a sub or even ships in the future when the game is less buggy and without the resets. Yeah, the resets are gonna be gone. I mean, this, from what I posted last night, the news I posted about long-term persistence, I think we're gonna see a lot less of that and a lot more positivity coming in. I'm all right. Got his beast badge. Starting third year of subscribing. First is Centurion and last two is Imperator, and we'll change back to the Centurion next year. He's got a plan. I'm all right's got a plan. You know, when the end of the world hits, which might be soon with what's happening, I want I'm all right as a friend because I'm all right has a plan. You got to know people like I'm all right. I've gotten close to 50% of it back in the form of coupons for buying ships. That's awesome. See, he's got a plan. He knows what he's doing. So in that respect, I'm not totally out of that. With respect to the dwindling content, Flair's gotten a little better, but still has its ups and downs. I prefer Flair to be focused on stuff you'd really use and show off in the game rather than odd things, but that's just me. And, you know, we're talking about these jackets here. Like maybe, you know, look at them in jackets and winter hats. It's a little colder than that on that planet. Microtech's a bit colder than that to be wearing, but okay, we get it. We get it. We get what you're doing, Cloud Imperium. We get it. I won't get too crazy. All right. Eclectic says, I was, but not now. Ditched my sub about 2 months ago. Not worth the money. So you guys, I want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day, for chilling with us and having a good time. Don't worry. For those watching this video, this is the end of the video. I will see you on the next video. But those that are watching on stream, don't worry. We are continuing the stream because we have yet another poll. Yes, that's what she said. No, sorry, I'm watching too much Office. I'm watching too much of it. Thank you, everybody. And I will see you on the next vid. Woo! Holy moly, we did it. I didn't think we were going to get through that. Oh, you guys got me through. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It should be interesting to see the analytics on that one. Like how long people are watching that video. I am doing the poll from Merlin. Yes. More polls, says Pies. More polls. That's what she said. Yes. So right now, I'm going into small break mode, probably break for about 5 minutes or so, and then I'll be back. We're killing it today. We had like 50 plus people on a Thursday morning. Guys, we had near 100 on the Inside Star Citizen review last week. We have over 50. We had at our peak over 50 people here just on our podcast. Just on the podcast. And the podcast isn't all Star Citizen stuff. This is what I'm talking about. Momentum. It's real. The Twitch ban was the best thing that ever happened to me. Quote me. The Twitch ban was the best thing that ever happened to me. There's so much content happening because of it. Like this video right now, we are 2 hours and 30 minutes into this stream. Will be one entire episode on our YouTube channel. Very easy to turn this into an entire video. Awesome. Then I'll cut these up into highlights, ship these over to videos on the YouTube channel, direct from the YouTube channel. Everything seems to be going nice here on YouTube. I want to thank you guys for joining me here. And we're going to continue going forward. Don't forget, push that like button. Let us really show the support for this community by pushing the like button and killing the algorithm that is the limiter to our existence. Break our chains. Push the like button. Break the chains, people. Let's break the chains by push. I want to see the likes go up right now. If you haven't pushed a like, do it. Take the time out. You're in your car, you're driving, you're scared about looking down and touching your phone. Don't be. Consider getting in that wreck. It's fine. The danger is worth it. Push that like button. You're at work. You're sitting there. Your boss is right by you. You're on your PC. You don't care. You don't care. You're pushing the like button in his face. You're taking your phone, you're smashing it up to your boss's face, and you're pushing the like button. He's like, what are you doing? You're liking the stream because it's taking your mind off your crappy existence. You're doing it. You don't care. Yeah, I see it now. I see it going up. You guys are responding. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. You have to drop off your kids somewhere. Tell them to wait. They're always biting at your ankles. They never give you a free moment of time. Tell them to hold on because you got to push the like button on DG360. Sorry, kids. DG360 comes first today. Any other examples we'd like? Thank you, Viz. Viz throwing $2 in there. Oh, is that you, Dark? I always forget that's you, Dark. Thank you, dude. Thank you, bro. Thank you for that subscription. If you're like Viz and you want to even show more support and you say, hey, I don't want just to push the like, I want to help him out, go ahead and do that super chat. Send that cash. It'll help us out on future giveaways. I love you guys. Don't forget, I'm going to start doing these more regularly, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I absolutely love the support. I love you guys. And boom, there's Viz's donation. Thank you so much, man. We're doing it. We're killing it. Momentum is great. We got an amazing, when we come back, we're going to finish today out with a really interesting poll that we took here in our community about imagination. Imagination. I will be right back. Give me about 5 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. And when we come back, we're talking about imagination. Where's the music button? Where's the music button at? That's not the music button. Where's the music button? Yes. All right. Perfectly timed. I got my tea and I'm back. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize that was my own music. It's very depressing. I pushed the wrong button. So, yeah, that was a song I wrote for Amy, as my wife who passed away. I didn't realize I was in the wrong folder, the wrong music folder. So that was actually me playing guitar there. 2 different tracks I put together that I played. Because I play that song at the beginning was me too. I'm back. It's so funny. Like, people really have a hard time with B-rate back screens. I get it. They want like immediate entertainment. So they get upset. They're like, oh, they don't have that immediate entertainment there, and they see a B-rate back screen. I guess I'm the same way. I'm like, oh, you really want me to stick around while there's a B-rate back screen? It's hard being a streamer. It's very hard to be a streamer. Like, the AFK B-rate back screen is pretty much death for any streamer. So, but that's okay. It's okay. I'm not focused on that. But I'll tell you what, within those 5 minutes, I did quite a bit. I went to the little boys' room and I made myself some tea. What are you guys drinking today? You guys drinking anything fun? Me, tea, because I'm not feeling good. I'm got the coolest dad ever mug that I got from Zoe. So very happy about that. Did you guys see her, by the way? Let me show you this picture here. Hold on a second. There's Zoe. When she came in the weekend before last, and she was watching Netflix and playing Mario Kart on her phone at the same time. And I'm like, Zoe, what are you doing? Like, this is ridiculous. So we're going to talk about a little bit. Our next topic has to do with like imagination. And I'm going to get into an interesting soliloquy, if we will. OX is drinking some beer. Nice. Eagle says he didn't take a break. Thank you, Eagle. That's hardcore love right there. That's very much hardcore love. I would like to take the amount of time today to thank those who have been here with me the entirety of this podcast. Also, those who have donated. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys more than you know. Without you guys doing this, which is something I love to do, which is being part of this community and creating content, wouldn't be possible without you guys. So thank you so much. This was like this over here. Look at what we went through, guys. Look at what we went through. This is like, whew, can you believe we got through all this? Look at the turnout here. The momentum is real. The participation on this poll was insanity. 490 votes. With how many comments? 89 comments. We went over 89 comments. Good morning, Fox. How you doing, buddy? Rick saying drinking on the tears of the backers. What's going on, Jeff? How you doing, dude? Black coffee with a splash of disappointment at work. Don't worry, you don't have to be disappointed, Anarchy. I'm here for you, buddy. Anybody that's doing that gig today and they're doing the work vibe, and you got whatever your works is, I'm here for you. Don't worry about it. We're having lots of fun today. And the next poll I think is very interesting. 12 hours ago with 200 votes, and it's not even the full day of worth of voting, but I still think it's interesting. One of my fans came up to me here. Shall we get professional? I think it's that time. Let's do it. All right, everyone. Today, we're going to go over something very interesting. One of my fans, this happens quite often in my community. Fans come up to me. They say, hey, I got ideas for content. And for the most part, some of the ideas I've done before, other ideas I'm like, whoa. But every blue moon, there's a worthy idea. And some ideas are very worthy as well, but I just don't have the time to put them out there. But this one I really thought was interesting. Has to do with the imagination of people. Has to do with the imagination of... I don't want to say it so bluntly, but I think I'm going to say it as such. And, you know, I'm of the type where I'm not the censoring type, where we talk about like imagination of those that didn't have technologies that exist today. Like, let's say you were a child of the 70s, 80s, a child of even the early 90s, where you didn't really have the internet as we know it. The ability to hook in or hook up to everything. Versus, I think, those that grew up as children in the mid 90s, possibly early 2000s and thereafter. So we're talking about like the primary focus of this poll is really to kind of figure out about if our imaginations are alive and well. That's kind of what the purpose of this poll was to me when I was approached by this fan named Merlin Magus. So let's read this here. This next poll comes from a member of the fan by the name of Merlin Magus. Take some time to ponder before voting and adding additional comments. Here's what he sent to me verbatim. This is really interesting to me. I was watching a video and a caller suggested that he hopes that UEC, by the way, this Star Citizen, for those of you who aren't aware of what Star Citizen is, we follow it here on the channel often, and UEC is the money that they use in the game. So he says, I was watching a video and a caller suggested that he hopes that UEC isn't the only form of progression in game, but rather you have to do this series of missions to get X. He also complained that he ran out of stuff to do in the game after one day of playing Star Citizen. And I thought, that is the most abominable idea I have ever heard. I play this game as much as I can. I try to avoid the mission board as much as I can. Now, see, I am of the same ilk. I usually personally only do things on the mission, pick up missions, accept missions on the Moby Glass when I feel like I'm at a zero balance and I'm starting from scratch. Long-term persistence is here. Hallelujah. Hopefully we don't have to deal with that much more often. And I don't generally go to missions very similar to what Merlin Magus is saying. I try to avoid the mission board as much as I can. I slum down to it if I need to grind up from zero. So that is me as well. And I never run out of things to do. But my vision is that I can make money by mining or cargo or escorting for people doing those things. Bounty hunting criminal players. If I were an a-hole, I could play as a pirate. By the way, I do play as a pirate. I am a very civil pirate. I would say I'm more like a Captain Rackham, if you've ever watched Black Sails, than anybody else. And never have to take a make work NPC mission. Then I got to pondering, when I was a kid, my ballpoint pen was a spaceship. And the cap of that pen was the detachable module. When I was doing homework, the telephone on my dad's desk was the navigation controls of my spaceship. The calculator was the weapon systems, and the map on the wall was my view screen. I battled Klingons for hours in between math problems. We grew up with imaginations. These young whippersnappers have grown up spoon-fed content and video games and are mentally handicapped. He's hitting hardcore here. By the way, I will say this, my kids have great imaginations, but I think that's because I took the time to install this into them. I believe it's something that you do have to in today's age, where you literally have to install imaginations into children that don't need to use them anymore because they're so hooked in because of the technology that we have. They can't generate their own gameplay. Anyway, I would enjoy to see what you might do with this idea. So this is how I'm doing it, Merlin. And this is how I'm presenting it as such. And I hope that you agree with me. I hope that you enjoy what is about to unfold here on stream live. Run a poll, do a video about the discussion like you do. So I did. And I do this from time to time. People come to me with topics. And if I have the time and I'm so inclined, I will actually take your guys' topics and run with it. This is community inspired content. The intros where you see community inspired content, I actually mean it. So my question is this: when dealing with MMO style gaming where you are put into a sandbox game environment with other gamers like Star Citizen, are you the type of person who solely relies on the developer to make in-game content for you in order for you to feel as if there is something interesting worth playing? Or are you like Merlin Magus here, who claims all he needs is his imagination to create all the content you'll ever need? There is no right answer here, and I will get into this on a future stream. I really look forward to hearing from you, as I think this is a most interesting topic. Now, here's how the poll works. I wanted to know how many people played alone versus how many people played with friends. I thought that was important to this poll because sometimes when you're playing alone, you're a little bit more dependent upon the game providing content for you. Although not all the time. You know, I can play alone and my imagination runs wild as well. But I was very curious to see people who played with one another versus people who generally played solo. And also, the last one was kind of my trap question. So remember when I said there is no right answer? That kind of was the truth, but there, I think in my mind, is a wrong answer. And I'm not trying to be an a-hole here, but like the very last selection is the what I would consider my pit trap. You just fell into my trap. 13% of you said you rely solely on dev-generated content to have fun gaming. 13% of 200 people. Okay, that's like what, 25-ish? Somewhere thereabouts. So 22, 23 people said they rely solely on dev-generated content to have fun gaming. Now, this is a bit concerning to me because I'm wondering, like, if this is a younger demographic. I almost want to bust this down into a smaller pool. But let's go over some of the other results here. I create my own content missions with my imagination and I play alone. 5% of people. So it's interesting because if you're playing alone, it looks as if not a lot of people have the ability to have an imaginative mind if they're doing it on their lonesome. Now, like, you looked at Merlin, and like, you know, like a lot of kids in the 80s, like him as well, we would turn our pens into spaceships and we were alone. We would sit in a room there, but you see, there was no technology that would hook us up to anything. We didn't have the ability to have our minds saturated with ideas. You know, in this information age has almost evolved into a misinformation age. And a lot of times, because so many people are plugged in, I think that really dampens imagination. I think an imaginative mind is an intelligent mind. Somebody who can actually come up with scenarios and answers to problems creatively would be the bonus of having a great imagination. And because of this condition of technology, I think that is actually pushing against this ability to imagine and for our children to imagine. So anyway, 5% of people play alone and can create their own content through their imagination alone. Now, I rely on both my imagination and dev mission content and play alone. So now we got a bigger jump up. So now we're still playing alone, but you're able to see that, you know, there's quite a big jump up because they're a little bit more relying on dev mission content, which makes sense because if you are playing solo, in a way, I get it. You know, you could maybe there's a point at which you're like, okay, I really need something to do other than maybe your imagination just runs out. But I understand why that number was a little bit higher because you're saying, hey, I'm doing both, but I play alone. Then we have, I create my own content missions with my imagination, but play with friends. So that's an interesting category at 8%, where I consider this kind of I'm kind of like in this 8% of people. I like to create my own content, like the people of Daymar Rally, you know, the people that are actually in the game that are saying, hey, how can I create content for other people? I'm that type of person. I like to do that. And maybe that is a smaller percentage and I'm part of that smaller 8% of people, but I get those 8% of people where, like, I do like playing with other people. I prefer it. And I also like to create content for those other people. That would be like the people of Daymar Rally. Or, for instance, we watched the funeral, the services that Aurora had when one of their members died in real life. And they're creating that content. They're creating those experiences in the game. I think those experiences are more meaningful than ever compared to, like, say, accepting a mission. You know? Of course, you remember those things more than you would by just simply accepting a mission or creating that content by being the leader of your organization and saying to somebody like, I need this person taken out. I need these goods shipped from here to there. And sometimes those game mechanics aren't in Star Citizen, but we're not just talking about Star Citizen here. We're talking about all games. So that's fairly interesting to me. I am in that particular 8% of people. I rely on both my imagination and dev mission content, and play with friends is the largest percentage of those people. Now let's look at the comments. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Any additional comments here? And Chief Gully said, you forgot all of the above options. Well, I didn't really want an all of the above options, but I get where you're coming from. And also, YouTube only allows me to put 5 options there. I know a lot of us love, 17 different choices on the polls there. That's what she said. Sorry, too much office. But I get what you're saying, Chief. I use both my imagination and generate content. I like to think of my sessions as episodic adventures. So do I. Actually. I feel like every time I log on, it's an episode. Some type of episodic adventure. I do as well. Sometimes a protagonist by himself, a lone star in the void. Other times joined by fellow space acquaintances or members of his org. The story is solely in my weaves events together to the mission board contact taken as a cover and route to collect intel on Huddleston. So you can see that the Gully actually has a pretty good imagination. So I get that. That's cool. I'm Alright says, even with the limited gameplay options available today, I create individual content and org-based content to play in the game. Of course, you have to work around the limitations to try to be playing for the alpha gotchas. But in most cases, people have fun and come back for more. Our org has some limited role-playing characters for our lore, so we, on occasion, build lore missions. That's cool. That's actually pretty cool. I dig that. So, you got a lot of people that also like to get into like role-play. I'm not huge on role play, but I do like to imagine sometimes that I'm, a particular character in the verse. So I get that. Even though some of this effort is thrown away, it is still valuable to building org cohesion. Yes. Fizz says, I have friends who each approach MMOs very differently. However, there's no denying that grouping up with each other can and usually increase the fun factor for everybody. Very cool. Very cool. DY says, I roleplay different sets of flight crews with their own stories for different ships in my account, which is relatively simple. They are all single or 2-seater ships. I play both alone and in a party, depending on convenience. Although I don't tell my teammates about the role playing and do just work out the story in my head. So DY is using his imagination. That's great. That's great, DY. Invisible says, a relative balance between player created content and game content. I'd say about 60 to 40, maybe 70 to 30 if Sig wants to be lazy. You need enough game content to keep yourself occupied when playing solo. But player made jobs, missions content, black market, criminal, and legal player driven economy and industry is where the real content is at 110%. See, I'm with him. Real player driven content, player driven instances are where the excitement is at. I prefer group play, but I'm no stranger to playing solo. And you know what? I love playing solo at times as well. But for the majority of the part, me playing solo is like flying around looking at the sites and enjoying what Star Citizen offers as far as eye candy. Sorry, my phone's blowing up here. I'm trying to squelch it. Somebody's trying to get a hold of me. Not professional. He likes the thrill. So do I. But I do that solo play and listen to that chill ambient electronic music and chill out and look to see what there is to look at in Stanton. Excuse me. Anok says SWG had almost no quests in the early days, so everything was player driven. Absolutely, dude. Star Wars Galaxies was the bomb, dude. Absolute, one of the best games of all time. Especially if you're an industrial type player, it was possibly one of the best games of all time. I guess that's why I've not even bothered to do the SC story missions yet. So I'm making content of my own. However, game mechanics need to be added to expand upon our own imagination. Yes. Vic says Merlin has a point. Okay, this is a great comment right here. I remember glancing over this and reading Vic's comment here. I really want to get into this. Merlin has a point. I teach high school and a lot of students have very little imagination when it comes to problem solving. And I would say also, Vix, that imagination is so important for problem solving. Imagination in itself, having the aptitude, having imagination in you is important for problem solving. And a lot of times I see my own children just look for answers and not know the reasons behind the answer nor the question, especially like with history. Yeah, Devin and I were just studying for a history test, and he was going instantly to like matching an answer to a question, matching an answer to the question, but he didn't understand FDR as far as why he had so many terms in office. He didn't get the correlation between World War II and how important FDR was to the American people and why they voted him in more terms than any other president. He didn't get it. He was just looking for the answer, and that's scary. That's a scary thing. And I do think there's this direct connection between technology suppressing imagination and our children versus those that didn't really grow up with it and have this ability to imagine. It's something that can be measured. I really think this can be measured. They're looking to have the answer spoon-fed to them. They are never bored and rarely are forced to ponder or imagine because they have entertainment at their fingertips. Absolutely. I don't begrudge them because any other generation of teenagers would probably be the same under the same circumstances. A mix of both spoon-fed content and open-ended gameplay is necessary to give this game longevity. You know, that's what we're getting to. Like, I wonder how dangerous this is going to be. The evolution of technology and the de-evolution of imagination. Is there a correlation between the evolution of technology, the increase of technology and what technology can do, and the decrease or the aptitude of a human being's imagination? I believe that there is. And that's why I did this video. So Vix, you touched on that. Great. And it's great to get your point of view as you are a high school teacher, man. So kudos to you, dude. And thanks for chiming in on this. Very, very important. I think your comment was one of the most important here. Killian says, I can't imagine anyone here who didn't do the same thing as a kid like Merlin described. So true, man. Like, I use my imagination all the time at that age, man. I for once did. I want SC to be the perfect sandbox to choose my path. I've got my plans and goals already figured once the game provides me with the mechanics to do that. So yes, I want to use my imagination to figure out my own goals. My goals are mine. I would want to play alone if I want to. However, in order to make a universe feel vibrant and alive, developer-made content is absolutely essential. It is a connection to other players. Joint mission is the term for me here, to interact with others if I choose to. Has been boatloads of fun and can't be ruled out in any way. So my perfect answer would be together or alone, my goals or missions. Limitless experience. Yes, I kudos to Merlin for this because it's wonderful talking points we have here. I sometimes play with others, but mostly alone, says Ted. Q says, when I hang with friends, I'm usually outside of my house doing something, not playing SC. Even waiting in queue 12 hours to buy a ticket for a concert is funny with a friend or two. So unless game is capable to entertain me when I'm solo, then something is not right, says Kuv. Dark says, currently I am a lone wolf in SC. When I hop on, I hope that is not always the case, but that is what I had to vote for. I would hopefully find a few close friends to play with eventually. Check out our community, Dark. There's plenty of people here, man. You know, if you're feeling alone and you maybe want some friends, just come on board and ask somebody in our chat. Like, there's always people that are down to play and have a good time, buddy. But at the moment, it's dev mission content and my imagination is stuck filling out the rest. I do wish at this point in time we had more fleshed out career paths and mission content. Yes. When I backed around 2.6, I was hoping to be exploring in a Carrick by now. Oh, that Carrick lust. We're going to get some of that on Inside Star Citizen today, so make sure you guys are watching with us. This is going to be a fun one. With at least a couple of systems to hop around on. I'm disappointed that the devs are having so much trouble keeping to their roadmap schedule. Yes. And integrating further gameplay that works like it is supposed to. The bug volume and 30Kers are hurting casual gamers, such as myself and King of Us on the sidelines. Hopefully long-term persistence will help us. I've said it a few times. I don't think I have played actively since 3.5, and it makes me worry about future development progress. Not that I'm a naysayer towards the game being put out. More than by, you know what? You're not a naysayer, dude. I know you. You're not a naysayer, and it's okay. You know, like we all have different opinions on the game and where we're at. Personally, our own experiences. You're perfectly fine to express your opinions here, bro. Like, just be open. Don't worry about it. There will be no backlash here. It is just people being real, dude. Hammer Dookie. Every time I see your name, I just love saying it. Long ago, and I mean long ago, long ago in a galaxy far, far away. I wanted only to play solo and dreaded the MMO experience, mainly because I thought everyone was going to be a jerk. But some friends of mine talked me into trying online. Now I rarely even look at games that aren't online. I will play a hybrid that is one that has a single player storyline and an online part as well. Yes, I sometimes fall into the troll trap, but most of the time I just have fun with friends. And sometimes even have fun with a skilled and witty opponent. Yeah, that's also fun too when you're testing your skills up against somebody else. Absolutely, dude. One of the main reasons I pledged into Star Citizen was the potential for all the possible player interactions way beyond just combat. Yes, yes, yes. Hitman Triple D. That sounds like a movie. Mostly play alone, but have most fun in large groups of organized play. I think dev metagame loops that tie separate game systems together, like mining and PvP, for example, are necessary for the game's longevity. Yeah. Yep. But also have fun with emergent gameplay. I would love to see PlanetSide 2 scale engagement areas. Dude, wouldn't we all? Dude? Fig says, for me, the dev content is the backup for the unexpected. The reason I am there, but not the meat of the story. Best recent time, Crime Stat 4, delivery mission at Outpost, back to shipbed for a log out in the dead of night. 2 cutlasses make an appearance, kicking up sand loud as all hell, as I hide in the carcass of a crashed ship. All becomes silent. The terror overcomes my senses. Seconds felt like hours. Whip! One shot. They never even landed. Gloriously unscripted. Boom! Boom, Fig. Boom, boom, boom. That's what I'm talking about, buddy. That's when the excitement happens, dude. I had to get my narrator voice out. The Eradicator. The Eradicator. I usually play alone, but also play. No, he doesn't talk like that. I'm sorry. I've been streaming too long today. I usually have my ERAD voice ready to go. ERAD voice locked and loaded and failed. Misfired. Sorry, ERAD. I was ready. I had the Eradicator voice, and I usually can pull that up just like that. Not today. You're lucky, ERAD. I usually play alone, but I also play with people of my community and people I randomly meet. Mostly alone, though. That's okay, dude. I'm kind of the same way. Like, I just don't have a lot of time in the day. Like, I will play at times with other people. When I'm playing, generally, I am alone trying to test different features of the game, trying to look for bugs, also trying to find new content when it comes out, getting in those PTUs, getting fresh content out for you guys. So I get where ERAD's coming from because I'm kind of there with them. 3.1. I haven't done much of the missions in a long time with the exception of the pro tems so I can collect bounties. A lot of people loving the new bounty system, like having a good time with the bounty system. I last played the 890 jump missions and narcotics search and destroy when they first came out, but it's my org mates I play with. Hunt bounties or take part in the community events like the Daymar Rally or Ultimate Melee Championship. Oh yeah. I heard about that. Was there footage of that anywhere? I would love to see that. I grew up with a great imagination too. As a kid, bed covers with a cockpit of a fighter jet, and I used to dogfight for hours. I also used to cover cassette tape boxes with paper, draw Game Boy controls on them with a display window cut out, and then cut out screenshots from C64 magazines. Commodore 64, what's he doing? Yeah. And stick the screenshots on cards to be the cartridges. Yeah. You would slide the cartridge in the top so that they lined up with the display window, and bam! I could have any game that was in the magazines without buying it. Dude, you're bringing up some really nice memories, man. My friend had a Commodore 64 across the street. His name was Dave Fletcher. Let me tell you about Dave. He was stingy with the Commodore 64, man. He was the only one in the neighborhood who had the Commodore 64. Got the Commodore 64. Every once in a while, we'd get to go over and play it. Usually, we'd all play outside together. And one day, I got a Swiss Army knife for the first time. My dad told me, you can't get the Swiss Army knife because you're going to hurt yourself. I said, Dad, I promise I'm going to be responsible with this Swiss Army knife. Nothing is going to happen to me. For weeks, I told him nothing was going to happen to me. Don't worry about it. I'm okay with the Swiss Army knife. My dad said, you're full of crap. You're going to hurt yourself. Nope, I won't. We got the knife. Great. Got the knife, put it in my pocket. Cross the street at Dave Fletcher's house. Fast forward. Dave says, I know you got a pocket knife. Swiss Army knife. I said, yes, I do. He says to me, well, if you want to play some Commodore 64, I want to see your pocket knife. I'm like, dude, I can't. I have to be responsible with this. My dad told me I can't give this to anybody. It has to be. But that allure of the Commodore 64, that allure. The pocket knife was trembling in my pocket like the Lord of the Rings. It was like the one true ring, the one in darkness that will bind you, and in the darkness bind you. That ring. The true powerful ring quivering in my pocket. I held on to it tight. I didn't want anybody else to hold on to it. But yet the Commodore 64 called out. It called out so powerful. It called out so powerful. I gave him the knife. He opened it up. And when he gave it back, he closed the blade, sliced my finger, still got the scar on my knuckle. Still got the scar on my knuckle. Damn it, Dave Fletcher. Damn it, Dave Fletcher. Went home bleeding and crying. I was a little kid. Had my knife, blood all over. All I wanted to do was play the Commodore 64. You understand? All I wanted to do was to play the Commodore 64. I come running inside. I said, Dad, son, come on, son. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, Dad. My dad took the knife. We had these woods. Backyard back in the 80s. 80s woods. Not just like your normal woods. 80s woods. You could never find anything in these woods. You got lost in these woods. You had to make paths in these woods. After you made the path in these woods, 5 days later, there'd be like vines and stuff growing across these woods. You understand what I'm saying? Poisonous berries everywhere. You can't pick those and eat those. Half those things I ate, oh man, I'd be comatose. I'd be down and drooling. Didn't know what kind of berries I ate. 80s berries. 80s berries in the 80s woods. And my dad looked at those 80s woods. He got that knife. Took that pocket knife. Took it straight from me. Bleeding and all. And my dad took it and he chucked it. He chucked it into the never-ending woods. You could never find anything. You could never find anything in those woods. I swear to this day, back in those woods, there's still like a 6-pack of Coke that I hid back there, like a pirate and his treasure. I think I buried it somewhere trying to hide Pop. That was a big deal back then. Threw that in there. Could never find that knife again. Trust me, I went back there and looked even though I was supposed to. And he looked at me and said, son, you ever go back in there, I'm going to whip your ass. 80s whipping ass. You know, they weren't afraid to whip ass in the 80s. In the 80s, they would whip your ass and not even think twice about it. There wasn't any political correctness. They didn't worry about political. They were correct because they were your parents. There was no politics involved with parenting. You just did that. And that was the way you corrected things. And you know what? It worked. There's something to be said about that. My ass got whipped as a kid, and I stayed in line. I turned out okay. My dad was right. Now that I'm older, yeah, my ass should have got whipped on numerous occasions, and he held back many, many times. This time, just threw that knife away. He took it, put it in front of my face, threw it out there. Like we're talking professional baseball from right field to home plate throw. This thing was an 80s throw. In the 80s woods, you understand? And I never saw that knife again. And a lesson was learned that day. The lesson I learned was Dave Fletcher was an asshole. I wanted that Commodore 64. Thank you for the story. I'm giving you a heart on that. See, sometimes it's not boring. Sometimes you go through these comments, something sparks up, something hits. That's why you got to watch. That's why you got to sit there and watch. Sometimes you get bored with the comments. Sometimes the comments in themselves, they don't entertain you. No. Sometimes, guy reading the comments. Just saying. All right, let's get back to the comments. Eagle 6, where's the option for I don't play because it's a game? It's not a game yet. Oh, Eagle. We could get into that talk. Eclectic Signal says, sometimes I role play in my head about exploring moons. I also enjoy teaming up with friends or bounties. We do use the missions, but also make up own stuff. My friend is working on a short movie set in game. I am as well. I'm almost done with the script, actually. Elusive Spartan says, I used to play SC all alone. But even then, I was always spoiling to see how other people were playing and what we could get into together. Nowadays, though, I have a group I play with and rarely have as much fun unless I'm playing with them or others. So he's somebody who generally played alone and found some friends, and now that's all the only way you can play. We sometimes do missions, explore, test the limits and benefits of all the aspects of the game world. I don't think we've ever been reliant on dev-created missions themselves, other than testing to see if they're even working, but more the mechanics and locations we've been given. Bunkers, stations, and ships with NPCs to clear, giving us a place to practice gunfighting and unit tactics. Stash houses filled with valuable drugs for players to potentially fight over. They're using in-game assets as tools to train against actual other people. That's awesome. Let's hope AI continues to prove so that we can't tell the difference between people and AI. Now that's what I want from my AI. Anyway, the missions themselves are one thing, but the locations and interact able. Oh, thank you. Thank you, 3 Point, for your donation, sir. Thank you for helping out this channel. We are that much closer to buying more cheese for our sandwiches. Actually, today has been a wonderful day. Thank you guys for all the support and the love and the donations. We're killing it today. Thank you. Thank you. The missions themselves are one thing, but the locations and interactable content that we can digest and use for creation of our own content are important, especially because we really don't have a lot of them right now. Gravedigger 388 says, we speak about MMO of SC proportion, right? Give me all the complex mechanics and I'll utilize it to make my own fun. If given the chance, I'd play SC and I'd play as medic for as long as I want. We talked about all the cool stuff with the medic mechanics. We talked about Death of a Spaceman. We have talked about that till we're blue in the face on the channel. I will not talk about that any longer. If you want to see more of that, go to the channel, become a subscriber, do it already. Hopping from system to system, making UC only enough to get by, provided the mechanics are complete. What I want to say is, why do some people use in-game progression as their measurement of fun? Aha. I like that comment. Because that progress normally means you get a weapon that makes you uber until somebody else gets a weapon that has done the same progression, gets you uber. And then there becomes this flat gameplay where like you've progressed to all the way that you can progress. You've put in like a bajillion hours into the game if you have that type of time. And then you've got another class of gamer that doesn't have that kind of time to commit to it. They get upset because that particular person has the uber weapons and done the progression that Merlin was talking about in the original post for that he had approached me with, and that to me is flat type of gameplay. That to me is that WoW grind, and I'm glad that we really don't have that in Star Citizen. There are games that have this as their model, and I think that is a failed concept, because what you'll see is that those developers have to continually create new content. You know, WoW puts out a new patch and boom, instantly within like 24 hours, people have already progressed as far as they can go in 24 hours or 40 hours worth of time into a new patch, and game over. And it's like, okay, now I'm at the top of this particular patch. That's not the kind of game development that I want to see in Star Citizen or any other game for that matter that I'm interested. For instance, New World, that I'm also looking into by Amazon as well. I don't want to see this type of progression, and I get a little worried when I see that as being the kind of pinnacle or highlight of a game's design. So very good comment. Kevin Scales says, this is some really deep game design philosophy stuff. The quick answer is both. The long answer is a 10,000-word essay about the limitations of modern computer games and the importance of rules and limitations in game design, plus the specific challenges of MMOs and how I think they should aim to be as much like tabletop RPGs in terms of player choice. I get where he's coming from that. You know, the angle of like an RPG, sit down like a D&D, for instance, and picking a character and then being able to kind of play out this particular character in a role play type fashion. And I get where he's coming. I get where he's coming from there. I like the fact though that we don't have to worry about leveling, at least in Star Citizen. I like that when you want to become a mechanic, or you want to become a medic, or you want to become a combat pilot, you want to become an industrial player, you want to become a trader, these are things that you have to learn as skills in the game. You don't buy a skill set for it. You don't level for it. This is just something that you have to learn the game mechanics. And in order for you to play the game and be a professional at it, you literally have to be a professional at it. You have to know the game mechanics required to be the role that is that you want to be. You have to understand what is required of you, the game mechanics that are required of you to be a good medic. And that's what I like about games like Star Citizen, that don't like force this kind of skill set and this leveling on you. So interesting comment from you, Kevin. Thank you. Snowfox says, I pick one with a side of 3 if people are around, and that's every MMO for me. I'm not going to wait till I find people to play with to play the game, especially in SC. I've never looked at SC and thought, oh, I can't wait for them to force me to do missions for everything. Just give the tools to do everything already, and we will take it from there. Oh, Fox, I love you, dude. Jonathan Thomas, we are gamers, rely on developers to at the very least function as DMs. but it's our imagination that determines how much fun we get out of a game and how long we spend in that game. There is a direct correlation to you being able to connect to a game based upon the level of your own imagination. Wow. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Or there is also a level of connection to a game with your lack of imagination if the game itself is only offering content in which everything is already imagined for you. That's also scary and true. There are games of both types. Another reason why I wanted to bring up this topic, this correlation between technology and imagination. I'm a solo player for the most part, but I also have fun playing with my org. Very cool comment, Jonathan. Thank you for participating. Jared Sneed. I will do all of Jared Sneed of the Sneed Manufacturing and Thrift Company says, I will do all of these depending on how I'm feeling for that particular playthrough. All except rely solely on dev-generated content. This game already has some form of limitless gameplay in the sense of exploration. I have always dreamed to be adrift among the stars and to visit distant planets and moons. I don't need much else. Well, except for VR. Does VR take away from the imagination? VR is cool AF, dude. Let me tell you what. I have been waiting for ages to play Elite Dangerous hooked up to a VR headset. Everybody has told me how fun it is. I think I need to do that. This game will always have me as a backer as long as we can explore unique and beautiful locations. Everything else is icing on the cake. Or my name is Jared Sneed of the Sneed Manufacturing and Thrift Corporation. Thank you, Jared Sneed, for that beautifully constructed paragraph, Mr. Sneed. Text 240. I play other games with friends, but SE isn't. Hold on. I need a drink of. I need a sip of my tea after reading that. You can tell I'm breaking down again, everyone. You can tell I'm breaking down. Woo! Been streaming a while. Hold on a moment. Oh, let me read some of these comments over here, guys. Sorry, I'm going to read some of the comments. Trans Am says, are you sticking on YouTube or will Twitch lift the ban? Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Trans Am. By the way, if you're watching this video, this is the people in the chat right now. This is my family in chat. I'm going to answer some of those questions. Trans, I'm telling you, got the ban lifted the other day. Went over to the Twitch channel. They romped all through my videos and highlights, deleting over half of the inventory of history on that channel. Over 3 to 4 years of history on that channel. They went through it like a mad, insane person. Thank you, Buffalo Soldier. Buffalo Soldier, a dreadlock Rasta. He was a buffalo soldier in the heart of the Caribbean. Oi, 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 oi. Thank you, Buffalo Soldier. I appreciate you very much for that donation, dude. And nice little Marley interlude, dude. Thanks. But yeah, Trans, so thank you. Anyhow, I will say this. I'm very upset at what Twitch did. They finally lifted the ban. And when I got back, my house was destroyed. I'm killing it on YouTube. 3 to 4 times the amount of people here. Much more love, support, and understanding here. The platform seems to me very solid compared to Twitch. So if I do go back to Twitch, I'm thinking possibly maybe a stream a week. Maybe some action-oriented gameplay content on my Twitch. Keeping the talks over here on YouTube. I'm not quite sure. Hey, Bingo. Welcome to the stream, man. The contest is still good. I'm still good on my word. Don't worry. The one who got the most number of clips, number of hits on the clips, I think the winner was Bannerwolf. So I will announce that. And I will give that was a $25 Amazon card. Even though Twitch coming in and banning me like they did, ridiculous. Like, really, really ridiculous. Also kind of pooped all over our contest that we were having for our clip contest, but I'm still good for it. And Banner is the winner of that. So he will receive most likely the 20, I think it was $20 or $25. I have to go back and look at the original announcement, but yes, I think Banner Wolf won that one. Whew, what's up, Full? Yeah, exactly. J-Dub says this is what happens when you go after their money, DG. Right. The girls got to shake their money makers. Right. It's ridiculous. I won't get into it because, you know, it's something that is the worst type of censorship that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's worse than what's happening in China. Like it's too ridiculous extreme right now. Anyway, back to the comments. Oh, Tex, I love you, but I just don't have it in me right now, dude. I don't have it in me. I love you, dude. I'm so sorry. If you want to go see Tex's comment, check out our community tab. I will read the first part. I play other games with friends, but SE isn't at a place where they're interested in messing with it yet in lieu of whatever else they're playing. So I voted play solo and rely on my own creativity. Okay, so he's actually able to have the imagination. Sorry, Tex. Just long stream today, dude. And I'm sick. And I'm also sick today. And I think I'm doing fairly good for being sick. I don't know what you guys think. But I think I'm doing pretty good. I think I'm doing pretty good. And also got another one coming up today for Inside Star Citizen. So I'm looking forward to having the Inside Star Citizen review with you guys. Shane says, I play by myself, both dev content and make my own. And I'm looking forward to playing with friends, both with DC content and without. There is no option for me. After voting, the top 2 board options apply to me, says Shane. I love making my own fun. I think he meant DLC instead of DEC. I don't know. I love making my own fun. Even though I play very little at this point, I like to do things that make you go, I wonder if this will work. Yes, this is one of the best things about Star Citizen, though I do wish we had more player-to-player encounters. And you know what? Do you have more player-to-player encounters? Oh my goodness, Full is powering me up. Thank you, Full. Ooh. Thank you, Full, for that donation, dude. Thank you, man. Thank you. So I do wish he had more player-to-player encounters. And you know what I was just gonna say? I have more player-to-player encounters in Star Citizen than I do in Elite Dangerous. So I know I did that Elite Dangerous video like last week talking about Obsidian Ant speculation on Space Legs. If you guys haven't seen that, go watch that. And what I talked about was how hard it is to find these player-to-player interactions in Elite Dangerous and why I favor Star Citizen over Elite Dangerous. It's a good video. It was also a fun stream with you guys last week. Tom Alaviaris. I saw the same video Marilyn saw, answered the call with Salty Mike, and thought the same thing as Merlin when the caller was saying he ran out of things to do in one day. You can tell he didn't have anyone to play with to extend his gameplay. You know what I'm saying? The color sounded like the kid from Meet the Millers movie. I get my gameplay from becoming more proficient in the existing game loops. But, you know, this is the thing. You know, I'm not trying to bash this kid who called into Salty Mike's show at all. I think this is just a condition of what we're seeing with technology hampering imagination. I think it's directly related to that. So it's interesting that it came from Salty Mike's show. I get my gameplay from becoming more proficient in the existing game loops, all the while enjoying shared experiences with my teammates in game. Missions aren't in a good place right now, and I don't think they're worthwhile outside of coming up from 0 UEC to be able to pay for the basics after a wipe. Love your content, keep it up, and we won't have to worry about those wipes anymore. That's the new news on the channel. The new news. Oh, and I answered based on how I currently play SE, own content, and with friends. Thank you. Gave you a heart on that one. Thanks for those comments, bro. Solara, what is going on, Solara? She says the problem is my imagination is usually hindered by the limitations, either the devs' visions or the lack of technology to make them a reality. I wouldn't necessarily argue that the lack of technology would be the reason why the imagination would be hindered. Sometimes it's a lack of technology that sparks the imagination, Solara, but I get where you're coming from to make them a reality. And all I am left with is the chance to enter into a Sophoclean debate on Spectrum. Wasn't Sophocles was a Greek, wasn't he a tragedian? Which is like I think somebody who creates like dramas or poems or very old school. We're talking very old school. I like Solara's got some knowledge. Anyway, into a Sophoclean debate on spectrum that seems to only attract, for the most part, toxic individuals and audibly gets nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. So she's having issues with talking these things out, theory crafting ideas. Solara, I totally know where you're coming from. Let me tell you something. When I first got involved with this project, my imagination was just boom to the moon. And we talked about all these different types of mechanics in Star Citizen that we wanted to see. We theory crafted so many different videos where theory craft. Those videos went gangbusters. Those videos did so well. The theory crafting videos did so well because it sparked the imaginations of all the gamers out there, Solara. And I get where you're coming from, because after a year and a half of creating that type of content, continuing, the people who had been waiting in line before me since 2013, for years before me, were upset with the fact that I was bringing up, hey, let's be imaginative. Let's really take this where we can take it, and let's talk about how amazing we can make this. And people got upset with me, Solara. They said, oh, what you're saying isn't fact. This is fake news, and everything you're saying has nothing to do with the game. And I said, no, this is absolutely incorrect. Everything I'm saying has everything to do with the game that we want, because it has to deal with what we want to see from the game. And I thought that content was very important. It was at that particular time that Noobifier had come out with his no bullshit stance, and he started just popping out news stories. And I was still talking about imagination and the things that we wanted to see from the game. And, again, this is no ill feelings towards Noobifier. I think his content's great. But at that particular time, I took a hit because people thought, hey, this isn't really news. You should stop it. You're just going to delay the process. And I thought to myself, wow, this is actually horrible. This is actually horrible. I want to talk about these amazing things. This is what Solara was experiencing. So I get exactly where you're coming from. So she goes on Spectrum. She starts talking about these things, and then people just downvote her or poo-poo her because they're like, no, you can't have an imagination. So she can't go anywhere to express it, but you can go here. You can come here, Solara. My imaginists are now telling me to perhaps create my own Kickstarter video and launch my own space sim. I freaking love you. That's great. That's great. So I hope she sees this portion of the video, because I really think that's fantastic what she said there. Derelict Gamer. Same here. It says Derelict Gamer. I mostly play alone due to my work schedule. I'm sorry, I'm reading loose. I mostly play alone and rely on my imagination. The thing is, this is my gift and curse. I've had this idea of creating a YouTube series of scripted videos. Think GTA RP type of thing. There's so many bumps in the road, though. The main one is finding like-minded people with a similar vision. I think this game is perfect for that sort of thing with VoIP and FOIP. Absolutely. That's why I do my experience Star Citizen videos. And my point is, imagination plays a huge role when it comes to how I play this game. Problem is, stuff gets real lonely. I get you. And we got towards the end of this, guys. You guys are hardcore. You guys sticking around here. You guys are great. Oh. Okay, we're taking a breath to get towards the end. Oh, I shouldn't. I hate that I'm still logged into Origin because I was playing Apex Legends last night, and I hear that the Origin sounds. So apologies. Lou says, I mostly play alone due to my work schedule. I am a pirate. I have to create my own content. I often do a mission to pass time and make UC, but outside of that, sitting waiting for some random cargo ship to pass by is not exactly exciting or stimulating gameplay. Yar, Lou, I know ye problems well. When you get lonely, talk to your parrot. Talk to your parrot. No, sorry, Lou. Okay, there you go. There you go, Lou. Patrick Moore says, I play an MMO to play with other people, mostly with people I know. If I wanted to play solo, I'd stick with ED. He's right. He's right. Mostly slow, but not happy with this build. So not playing at all. 3.8.2, hopefully a little bit better now that we're seeing long-term persistence. I will let you guys know what I think of that. Boba Joker. I make it up as I go along and I got no friends. Come on, Boba. You got me as a friend, dude. Michael says a small party of 2. So Michael plays with a small party of 2. So that was the results to the poll. I thought that was interesting. By all means, please go there. Continue to add to it. Would love it. After the fact, when we do these, I still go back from time to time and check older polls that we have here on the channel, just for shits and giggles. It's a good time for me. I love doing these community events with you. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you like these, if you want more of these, if you hate these, anything, let me know. And I will see you guys on the next vid. Thanks. Boom. I'm so out of juice today. If you guys want to see me on Inside Star Citizen Review, I think I'm going to have to call it a stream, guys. You guys are awesome. Let me tell you guys, if you're there, push that like button. I think we had near 60 people at the peak. We had 60 people at the peak. I get that these videos are kind of like a grind. I get it, but I think it's important. I'm going to start looking at these and I'm going to start reading the most relevant comments. And then based upon those, I'm going to expand. And I think we're going to change these slightly since we're growing so much. I think it's important that I approach these types of videos differently. And in terms of, you know, which particular comments I'm going to choose, they won't be chosen by the amount of upvotes that they get. They will just be chosen based upon whether I think the comments are interesting personally. And then that's the way I'm going to go about it. J-Dub saying his son is asking for a Star Runner. Hey, Ted, no problem, man. No problem. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, man. Thanks, Cash. Thanks, guys. I can't wait to watch Inside Star Citizen with you guys. We're going to get a sneak peek, I think, or more information on the Carrack. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking out to hang out with you guys again. I'll keep you posted in my Discord. You guys have been great. Do not forget to push the like button. I want this out there. This podcast, this DG in the Morning, I think is going to be very successful. You guys are making it successful. Thank you for all the donations today. You guys are the best. And I will see you on the next stream coming up today. Inside Star Citizen. Can't wait. See you then, guys. Stay tuned.